Today's A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan podcast is brought to you by
the Bart Merrick team. It's Bart Merrick. It's Crystal Van. They've sold hundreds and hundreds of our listeners' houses.
Yes.
Bought and sold. Helped lots of our listeners.
They helped me sell my mother's place, or my mom and dad's house, and it was a big deal, and they handled it with amazing professionality.
Yeah, plus their experience, you're going to get more for your house. If you sell it, you're going to get a better deal if you're buying a house. Yes. They work all around Florida, so even outside of... they're
not morons, and they're attractive. I'll say they're not morons and attractive.
If it's outside of Central Florida, they can refer you out to another agent in that area. They vetted themselves.
Yep.
We've got David on the line. David, did you buy or sell your house with Bart and Crystal?
Actually, I did both.
There you go.
Crystal had an organic lead for someone to buy the house that I was selling, and then she was also my realtor from the purchasing end. So I was able to see them work as a team from both ends, actually. So it was kind of a unique experience.
Both ends.
Awesome.
The Bart Merrick team. We're running at both ends.
Don't say it. Come on. David,
David, give me
don't get it on it.
It's the Bart Merrick team. Both ends.
Don't say both ends. So, David.
Push it out.
No,
it's the Bart Merrick team.
No.
Pushing out. Awesome.
No, he doesn't want that. It's not pushing it off. So, David, your overall experience went well?
Oh, absolutely. It was a phenomenal experience. Like I said, because they were working both on the selling and the purchasing end, they were even able to work with me on the closing costs and
both
on the commission. So I was able to save some money there. And then obviously in today's market with the interest rates not being too high right now, then every cent counts from what you're actually purchasing at. So Crystal and Bart were awesome at negotiating, and we actually came in under asking price and were able to close, and I even got some extra credit on closing to go towards a couple of things that need to be addressed. So,
how much for both ends?
Stop saying both ends.
I can't stop.
It was an awesome experience, and they even the seller was supposed to do a couple things before closing that they actually didn't do, and Crystal and Bart actually went out of their way and paid for the services to be. They paid for a handyman to come out and do the repairs out of their own pocket.
That was Tom. That was Tom.
Don't talk about it.
It's all fucked up.
Yeah. I did go to a random house, and I took the air conditioner lid off.
Fixed it good.
I just hammered it crazy.
Blew some air in there.
It got done. I haven't had any issues, so Tom did the help.
All right, I just put some carb starter. That's all you need is carb starter.
Crying. This is my favorite Bart Merrick ad we've done in a minute.
If you spray carb starter at anything, it'll work better. David,
thank you, buddy.
Also, if you use the Bart Merrick team, you get to come in and watch a show.
I want him to come in. He's fun.
Yeah,
he's coming along.
He's coming in June 7th.
All right, man. I'm looking right before my birthday. All right, I like it.
Well, thank you, David. We appreciate that. And again, if you want to find their website, it's barttherealtor.com. Both their cell phone numbers are on there, and you get two awesome realtors to help you buy or sell your house.
You do. I'm sorry, I had to get it together. Yeah, they are awesome, and Bart does like the spicy commercial. This one's for you, Bart. This one's for you, buddy.
BartTheRealtor.com.
Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
The show's uncensored, but we can't even say what we were just talking about.
We can't say it. Hold on. Let me see if my cameras are going to work here. Hey, multiple cameras. Let me turn on their microphone. Hey, welcome to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom. Brenda's here.
Hey, how
Besides your husband.
Lock him up. I ate ribs with that dude.
Also, Scotty from the Orange County Regional History Center's here. How you doing?
Hey.
Good to see you guys.
We might not want to say that because you're going to hear an
Right.
Okay, I don't know what are you doing. What are you doing? You did this.
It's all right. I'm always about
today.
marketing. I was just trying to market.
This was all you. You're like, hey, Scotty's coming by too, which I was like, yeah, because I love Scotty, but I was like, now I'm starting to second guess it because the story that was being told as I was trying to fuck with the buttons, and it started slapping. Like I was hearing things that I shouldn't have heard about throats and big ding dongs.
You're welcome.
So first, Brenda told me that it blew my mind that it only took you 40 minutes to.
He did this while I'm wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, you look great though.
I mean, that is fast. Like, it should be way longer than that.
It took a long time, and I was panicking. Scotty came back, and I was sending our podcast stuff to KC at the station.
Yeah.
Which I should have done last
Shout out
night.
to KC for holding all that down.
Yeah, and making us sound good.
Yeah, appreciate you, buddy.
Moving forward so you can see my teeth.
Yeah. Sorry,
And-
like I gotta mess with these cameras
Now-
more.
Provocative.
I thought it was
look good.
I thought you came in as Brenda today because you have a gig tonight
I
at
do.
Persimmon Hollow. It's their I guess they're closing the doors.
Closing the
last party.
hollow?
Yeah,
A viola-
the downtown
viola
one,
spot,
not
yeah.
the DeLand one. Will stay functioning in DeLand as far as we know. As
Okay.
long as we know. But the Lake Eola location is closing on the 30th, I think.
Okay.
And, and we were their first drag show that they ever had there at that location. It was me and Doug Bowser, Taffy Pinkerbox, and it's his fault that I look like this now. So because we sponsored it, Bungalower sponsored it there, and we loved it. And then I would come in sometimes and sub in because he was threatened by me and my lack of talent. He liked that. He knew I couldn't steal the gig.
Okay.
I see.
If you get a replacement, make sure they're not better than you.
See, I like hanging out with people with more talent than I have because you could get on the whatever fabric they're trailing behind them, and then they'll pull you along with you.
I'm out of it. I'm done. I have nothing left to say. No more songs.
That's
nothing.
not true.
I'm over. I'm done with it. I tell my wife this every time I come home from the show. I tell her every day. I go, I'm out of things to say.
Oh, yeah.
I have nothing else to say.
Eventually, you have to get up and grab the cocktails, and then you're like, all right, I'll drag you.
You gotta have something to fucking
You
say,
use
you
coattails
midget.
in a sentence, Tom. I like that.
Say something, you midget. He's
Come
slapping me. Speak to me. Come on.
Little people.
So they, I know. I tell him
did
that
you
all the
hear
time.
about
No,
that?
he claims he's so close.
I'm so close I
That
can
he
say
can
it.
say
It's like the
it.
N-word for people that are half that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's exactly that.
Are you like a
It's
mulatto
exactly
midget?
that.
I'm
You can
sorry,
print that at the
Scotty.
Scott
Sorry.
Maxwell told me that.
If you want to slowly exit the camera, I don't blame you.
I could fade your camera out.
But by the way,
We have a luchador mask. You could be Mr. X.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. I always wanted to have a person come on this show as Mr. X and then say the worst things with just a luchador mask, and we all know who it is. Just like Dusty Rhodes when he was the Midnight Rider. Oh my God, it was amazing.
You want to do it?
oh,
No,
this.
no.
Oh, because he just got his hair
Only
cut.
wear
You want
masks
to
for
show it off.
OnlyFans.
Hey.
This I'll tell you about something about getting
Not joking.
embarrassing or getting embarrassed about something you did.
I thought you were going to tell me something about Gideon's. I was going to be
No,
like,
no,
I know.
we'll talk about
Are we
it.
talking about that?
I know
Yeah,
the
yeah,
cookies
we'll talk
crumbling, sir.
Not really.
But
No, that's fine.
like Melissa,
Fuck Gen Z.
our social media editor, has been doing an awesome job. She's unbelievable.
Did you pull that video?
No, I didn't.
Did you pull it?
I don't tell her what the stuff to pull from the show.
have pulled one,
then
though, I thought.
I did one time
Yeah.
because I thought it was bad for business.
Well, you should have
but-
pulled this one.
I know, but I was like, okay, well, because I did that one time, and then you yelled at me. You're like, don't get
Is
it
it on
on
your
that.
Instagrams?
No, we put
Yeah, it's on everywhere.
We put something out on social media and it was a little too spicy.
I
okay?
watch all your videos.
And then Tom will pull it because he's the responsible
No.
one, and I'll look at it and I'll be like, you fucking pussy. Lost your fucking ass.
Well, that's why I didn't
You
pull
lost
this
your ass.
one.
Hey, look, everybody, it's Billy Crystal. You got to go do your fucking G-rated movies with a giant in the woods.
See, but I'll make some like real going too far jokes.
Wait.
Like during the show.
Can
And
you hit a pause button for a second? I'm a little stoned.
What?
You said Billy Crystal. Now I'm thinking
Yeah.
of what's the movie where
My
he
Giant?
helped birth a calf?
City
silly
slickers.
slickers.
Thank you. I just
Silly,
needed that.
that's
All
a
right,
better
continue.
example. That's a better example.
Silly slickers.
You
That's the
silly
drag
slicker.
version of City Slickers.
City slickers. Yeah, not silly.
Well,
Sorry to
write that
interrupt.
down.
I needed
If
to
you
close there.
do for Fringe next year, I will help you do the all gay, all drag, silly slickers. And you have cowboy hats.
I like it.
That
something
shit would
there.
work, dude.
All right.
We've been
Scotty's
trying
a
to get the
director.
gay money for years, dude.
Anyway.
We're just not creative enough.
Our social media editor, Melissa, picked a clip
bitch.
that I'd rather her not have picked, and it's of me saying a horrible joke. And
It wasn't a joke. It was a fact of your life. It was a coming-of-age tale. Do you want to know what it was?
No. It was about when I was a teenager. I
First time he
searched on the
masturbated?
internet. I didn't know.
No, he wasn't. I don't think he was masturbating. He could have been. That's step two.
Come on,
but-
no, she's gonna pick this now.
So Tom was saying.
No,
that
don't say it again. I don't want to. It's on our social media.
I won't say it. He was
Say it.
the first thing he looked up on the internet.
Oh.
I was
Do you
over
guys remember
at my
yours?
buddy's house, and we just
Like
searched.
porn or just first thing I looked up?
Well,
The
we
first thing Tom looked up
It
was
wasn't
blow your goddamn wig
It wasn't
off,
the
Brenda.
first thing. It was just something that me and my buddy.
You're backtracking now.
Went to go. Well, it was the
you're
first
changing your story.
inappropriate,
You're
crazy.
changing your story, Michael Cohen.
Okay, well, Google didn't come.
Fucking rat.
AOL didn't come out. I didn't search that with my
was it?
mom. but-
You're
Just tell us what it was.
Do you want me to tell you the first?
It was
the first thing he searched.
No.
On
Come
the internet.
Scotty,
I'll do
here.
it.
No,
Okay,
come on.
The first thing.
No, stop.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Anyway,
The first thing he searched.
No. Come on.
Girl sucks horse cock.
No.
I said it, but I said it
No,
little. I
okay.
said it little.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was really quiet.
We were
It was
talking
really
about
quiet.
my friend is in a smutty book club, and
minotaurs. We
yeah,
were talking
and they were
about,
talking
yeah.
about, and they read the dirtiest.
Scotty's like, the minotaurs.
Yeah, and they were
Fucking
talking
minotaurs
about
again.
fucking minotaurs. Like there's romance novels about girls getting dicked down by minotaurs and
Yeah.
centaurs. And then I was like,
What's the difference?
well, centaur's the half horse. And I was like, well, that's kind of.
What's a minotaur
And then
then?
I was like, well, is it a horse dick or a man dick? Like, what does it look like on a minotaur?
Oh, yeah. From the waist down,
you
it's
know what
horse.
it is? Horse
It's
dick,
just a
but
big
man
old-
balls.
No, come on.
This segment brought to you by Manscaped.
No, that's where I go to ACT.
Sorry.
Anyway, real quick. So
Yeah.
today is the last day of school for
Yeah.
Orange County, Seminole County,
Yeah.
and probably a bunch of other counties
the
in Florida.
counties.
I'm not sure. I don't know if it's in Miami
Polk.
too. But
Grady Judd's making the kids stay in one extra day.
so
That's what I heard.
So in these past 3 days, it's been early release, right? So the kids get out at the Wednesday time, which is 1
I laugh
o'clock
at
or
that
whatever.
every time they say early release. I'm like, shame your pants. Because I'm a baby man.
And so essentially, and I talk, I dropped the boys off. I talked to them after. I'm like, well, how was your day? And they tell me about this has been going on for days of parties. The teacher set up a balloon they pop each day, and inside the balloon,
Oh, yeah, Maisie has that. Is the task of fun.
Yeah, it's a new fun
Oh, I
task.
like that, like a gender reveal, but for chores.
Yeah, but it's like but it's good shit. It's like it's only good shit. It's like you pop
ice
the
cream
balloon and
party.
it's like, ice cream party.
Oh, I love that.
Music. They did a dance party.
We've done that.
Yeah, and all this stuff. So it's been days of this going on. And they had an ice cream. I asked Max. He's like, I'm like, get an ice cream party. I'm like, what? Oh, did someone just bring in some some ice cream cones or whatever you buy at Costco?
It's a
Why do you have to belittle it like that? Like, what?
Well,
Somebody bring in some fucking ice cream
No,
cones
and he's
some
like,
shit stupid. I've heard of it. Go to your room.
No. He's like, no. They had a spread of toppings. They had
Yeah.
ice cream and
With
then
candies.
15 different
Candies. Toppings.
Gummy worms. I
Yeah.
mean, he's like, I put gummy worms and sprinkle up gummy worms.
Yeah.
and
then they send them home early.
Maisie said
full
they
of
had.
sugar.
Maisie said they had Reese's, Kit Kat, Reese Peasy, like you name it, crumbled up Oreo.
I promise there's a point to
Whipped
this.
cream.
Then my buddy Andres, he sends a text or
Great
group
name.
text of he's a teacher down in Miami.
He's the best. He and his wife are amazing
And,
teachers.
and he's literally DJing.
think I have a video of that.
a kid party, at his
What?
school. Look at this. Look at it. It's
Look at this carnival.
There's a stand-up popcorn machine. a 1950s
There's a
stand-up.
man running it, too.
Yeah. And that's my buddy Andres. He's a teacher down there. He's DJing.
Beautiful campus.
Yeah, it's a nice school, man.
Well, Miami's got the taxes. Every home's $1.5 million. So all the tax money. Anyway, so then I was like, wait a minute. And I started thinking back at our elementary school, and I was like, I remember at the end of the year, there was like one day, or like the last day of school, the teacher used to put on Reading Rainbow for us, because the last day you're not going to teach anything.
I'm older. At least you got Reading Rainbow. I had to watch Ricky Tikki Tacky the mongoose.
Although great movie.
I'm sorry I looked at you, Scotty. I thought you might know. I know I'm still the elder here, but like Ricky Tikki Tacky.
I was just trying to think which version of the story. Yeah, Tom.
Well, Scotty, like in elementary
don't talk to Scotty
school,
like that.
Well,
how dare you? You don't talk to him like that.
Like I understand.
You talk to me first, and then you talk to Scott.
Yeah. Well, that's his Scotty, man. What are you doing?
And you guys remember the last couple days of school in elementary? Like, there was nothing to do, so the teacher put on a video, or it was just like, hey, do what you
that
want.
Was literally every day in Canada.
Yeah, so there was that. But
I don't know how to do math.
But the lengths now that the teachers go through to make these kids, but believe me, I like it. I'm like, this is incredible.
They don't want to get shot, Tom.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know what Maisie got? Do you want to know what Maisie got?
Yeah.
Apparently, and I was told this from Maisie. This is what the teachers did in Maisie's class. You're going to be very mad at this.
No, I'm not mad.
Apparently, well, okay. I get what
questioning.
You're saying.
I have a question. I have a question.
Okay, the question you'll probably question this. Okay. So apparently, Maisie was sitting at her play, and they're just doing work. And again, they're just fucking off because you're allowed to. It's they're doing one of the balloon. They bought the balloon. They got done with ice cream. They come back.
Yeah.
She's sitting there. She said they started to dim the lights, and then the Harry Potter the thing plays. The door flies open. All of her next level teachers from the next grade of fourth grade come flying in dressed in robes, and they approach her desk, and they're like, Maisie, you're a wizard, Maisie, and you're going to fourth grade.
No, dressed as Harry Potter.
Dressed as Harry. They're just a fucking Gandalf. Or I don't even know the thing. I'm not in that word. And she said that she had to reach in, and she picked a house, and she's like,
what house was she?
Dumbledore, Kraken Raven, or whatever it is. My neck, my
She's
back.
a Hufflepuff.
She's my neck, my back.
Sure.
Okay, so this is perfect.
Dude, and they were playing them. They had a boombox. They had their full dressed, full makeup, wands, dimming of the lights. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
But it did. I will say it did work. It made her fucking really pumped. Like she's legitimately
did she turtle and like have a heart attack?
Well, she's ready to go to fourth grade.
So let's just preface this by saying
the chat room thinks you're complaining. He's not complaining.
I'm not complaining.
I had to figure this out earlier today. Trust me, he's not.
I'm just astounded.
At what point though does school become summer camp?
Well, Brendan complaining.
All of our listeners look at how you're dressed. They're like, that's a weird flex for her.
Yeah. You take that side of it.
I think I like Brenda's conservative value.
Well, believe me, I lean that way.
Can we just take the kids out?
She's the drag queen with guns. It's Brenda. Oh, they all fucking throw money.
The only man I let in my butt is Jesus.
You heard it here.
And he got there through my heart.
Brenda for Freedom Nuts.
So
the only man I let inside me is Jesus. That's what I should
let me say first of all, this is amazing that the teachers put that much extra work because they don't have to do this.
Yeah.
The chat room's getting me again for apologizing for you. They're like, Dan has to stop apologizing for
I want to have like a Kim Kardashian. These kids need to learn how to work.
Couples therapy
kids
here
need
right
to learn
online.
to get to work.
I don't know this to be true, but I'm sure the school doesn't mandate that the teachers go above and beyond and dress up like Harry Potter or put on ice cream parties or do a balloon.
But I thought about
parties.
this. I did think about this, and I think I have an answer for you.
Okay, I think
the teachers are competitive.
So my question is, and then I got a further question.
You want the kids because there is. I'm not going to say
they
it.
get Google
there's
reviews
one particular. They do, and there's one particular teacher in Maisie's grade that is the one that everybody wants. She's the Jordan. You know, like everybody, like you want to be in this league, and I think she likes that. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
Is there job security there?
Sure.
No. Once you get in the public school system, you're never getting out. If you just do your job,
if they come for you, then like you'll have like a groundswell of support, behind you because they're like, you're the cool teacher.
But I don't think
likes trans hating authors.
I don't think they're exactly. So my question is: are they doing this purely for the kids' enjoyment and for the kids to have a good time? Are they doing it
having fun?
Are they doing it for their own fun?
Yeah.
Or are they doing it for some reason to be liked? Because there has to be.
I think the answer is E, all of the above.
Okay, so
and they don't have to work.
And they don't have to work.
But you could just put on the Reading Rainbow and go smoke outside, or whatever, like my teachers used to do.
That's pretty awesome.
Like you didn't have to do a full ice cream party with 12 different choices of sprinkles, and
Who
then
paid for that?
And then they get I'm sure they ask for donations from the parents.
And honestly, if they ask, I always try to hook them up if we have the money, because I feel so.
Nice.
Well, my mom was always a teacher, and she was always having to come out of her own pocket for everything she did. So I know what it's like.
Now, I know a lot of people won't feel bad for this person, but I do, because he's a man of my own heart. But what happens to the curmudgeon teachers?
The alcoholic old guy?
Well, they've been teaching for 30 years.
He's winning because nobody wants to be in his class. He's got 5 kids who are just as curmudgeonly as he is.
God, here come the fucking wizards again. The door flies over.
Are the curmudgeon teachers pure pressured into doing this stuff too?
Because they retire early.
Because I can imagine if I'm there, I've been a teacher for 30 years, and I'm there, and then everybody's dressed like Harry Potter, doing ice cream parties, popping the balloon, and I'm like, wait a minute, the government's not paying me extra to do this.
Are you defending you as a teacher if you were a teacher?
Yeah, because I listen. I don't mind.
You want to know can you still be a teacher?
No, I'll put on. Listen, I'm fine with putting on YouTube or whatever.
Gotta be careful with YouTube.
Or The Last Airbender, or whatever the hell they like, which always sounds like a fart to me. But whatever the kids like to watch, whatever's approved. I don't care. I know that YouTube's not approved, but whatever.
I need to fart out airbending.
Like, I'll put on a National Geographic show.
Just over here bending air.
How the Earth was made or whatever, so they can watch it. But I'll put
the Earth was made.
Girl, if I was a teacher, I'd be smoking weed and making my kids watch Planet Earth every day.
Yeah, that's fine. The kids are fine with it.
That's my retirement.
Do I have to do the balloon popping? I've dressed like Harry Potter, ice cream party. Like, how much do you have to do?
The chat room says, I think from other teachers too, that a lot of those teachers, they just jump up a grade, so they don't have to do as much of that.
But what if I want to be a 5th grade teacher, but I don't want to be a party planner?
My dad didn't want to sell computer software, but times change.
Why doesn't school end when you're done the test or whatever? Like, why do they keep going? Why is there an extra week of just like bullshit?
Because it's on the schedule.
The parents don't want them.
I remember sitting there.
Hold on to them a bit longer, please.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right.
I could be at the beach right now, but instead I have to be here having a fucking ice cream party with Joey the nose picker.
But it is weird too, because like Maisie, and Tom and I talked about this. There are kids. They're the quintessential kids that are like, I don't even want to show up. Like, I think a BDM even asked this on the BDM page. Like, there's a couple days left in school. Should I make my kids go, or can they just fuck off and stay home?
It's daycare at that point.
And look, do whatever you want to do with your kids, but Maisie loves school. Like, she wants to go to school. Yeah. So,
well, it's all ice cream parties.
Being with her friends.
4-hour party.
Being with her friends, though. Like, if given the choice to, like,
otherwise
if
she's at home watching you airbend.
Well, even if there's no ice cream party, she likes it. She's very much like her mom. Like, that is a place that she enjoys. Like, she likes school.
What a nerd.
She is a fucking nerd.
I love that.
And I'm sure it slowly happened, and I'm sure it has to probably do with, like, the testing nowadays. It's like, it's all about if they pass a fast test, like that. Right. And then after that, it's like, well, there's no reason to teach the kids anymore or anything, so let's just have parties. And then slowly but surely it got to this point where it's 2-3 full days of nonstop party, elaborate
like
stuff.
Bonnaroo.
And
it's crazy.
And the teachers are doing so much extra. Yeah. Like, it's really the only job I've ever witnessed where they're going so above and beyond what their actual job duties are. It's insane.
Stuff with Maisie, adorable.
Yeah, it's crazy what they're doing.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love it. And again, I see it, I think, from maybe a different way because my mom was a teacher. And, your mom used to volunteer at the school, so like that stuff is important. But, I think a lot of them do it. And I think that don't count out their competitiveness of wanting to be, they're human. Why wouldn't you want to be the best?
Right.
I would want, if I were being a teacher, I would want to be the coolest little teacher that if I were teaching at a little school, I would want
an amazing
but then I would love to be a teacher. I've talked about this. But
inevitably, there's got to be some kids.
I want to be the best one, though. I want the other teachers to fucking hate me because I've got my guitar out and I'm like, I walk in and I'm doing School of Rock and I'm Jack Black in it. I'm over here. They're playing drums. But we're playing Iron Maiden at the dance.
But all your kids in your class can't be good. You got to hate some of them. That's inevitable. Every year there's some kids you're like, God damn, I can't wait for them to leave. So you're throwing a party for them too.
My grade 10 phys ed teacher, I always remember, he made us draw vaginas because he didn't have any money to do photocopies for sex ed. He put it on an overhead and then he made us all draw it in our notebook.
If you can draw it, you can like it.
And we had to label the labia, and then I remember he would always tell me, I had the biggest crush on him, but I think he hated me because I remember one day he just said, I was flirting hard with him, and he goes, "You're such a little social butterfly, Brendan O'Connor." And I was like, But I remember the way he said it was very dismissive. So. He needed me to get out of his face.
Oh, God.
Mr. Conway, if you're still alive.
My geometry teacher, Mrs. Cash, had the nicest silky white titties. I mean, they were bright. They were bright white.
Yes.
And it was the first time I'd ever seen a woman that was milky and not sun damaged like my mother.
Yeah. Oh, she was like an Asian concubine.
No, she was like a blonde, like a fair-skinned, must have been Irish or super European, but they were so milky, and she'd lean over, and then they would touch you, and they were so soft.
I think you were molested.
So soft.
I know it pisses people off as a double standard, but there's a lot of dudes I've talked to that have had the fantasy of banging their teacher.
I still think about her.
Everybody in this room.
I'm 47 years old, and I think, if you want to decide that I'm a weirdo for thinking that, I have laid in bed next to my wife and thought, I wonder what Mrs. Cash looks like.
Scotty,
I think
you got
that's a human.
Did you like any
teacher? No,
nothing.
Not that I can think of.
God,
no.
so boring.
Back to you, Brent.
I think they
You
probably
went to school in Germany for a hot minute too.
I'm sure they had crushes on me, but I was a cute kid.
He was cute. He had like feathered hair.
Can't stop progress.
Yeah.
You had feathered hair? You went to school in Germany for a bit.
Yeah. The last couple of years,
and he was moody and he lit things on fire.
That was
You're
younger.
a German emo?
Yeah, my childhood was fun. Yeah,
You're a pyromaniac.
Was a pyromaniac.
So feel
saw child
alive.
What'd
psychologist.
you do? You burned down some black churches or something?
No. Nothing quite like that.
That went hard.
It was the most aggressive thing I can think of.
What would you do?
Just stuff around the house.
So
just drown cats
I wrote
in
my
bags.
name in gasoline in the driveway,
You
and
did?
it was asphalt, and I lit it up, and I forgot that asphalt is mostly petroleum, so it lasted forever.
Oh, my God.
Daniel down there. Yeah.
That's actually kind of badass.
I thought Dad was going to beat me to death.
That would have been on YouTube if it was alive then.
Yeah.
You know?
So, since
What,
Scotty's
Tom?
here, let's talk about Church Street and let's talk about Hamburger
Let's
Mary's.
get the business.
Because
Let's get down to
we've-
business.
Scotty, we talked to you about
why would you
working.
want to talk to Scotty? I'm the 20,000th burger at Hamburger Mary's. I mean, nobody knows that.
I didn't know
Are you
that.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. On Bear Night, I led a parade.
Because they wanted your burger?
Now you're making things up.
I'm picturing a bunch of hairy, fat
Yes, Tom.
gay men following around the bar trying to eat his burger.
You can ask my wife about it.
They're pawing
they
at
didn't
it.
like me. I wasn't one of them, but I led the parade, the Bear Night.
So we've talked to Scotty about Terror on Church Street and working that event and how popular Church Street used to be.
Yep.
And
Before the gays ruined it.
And the gays are fleeing because there's no business there anymore. There's no one that goes to Church
disgusting
Street.
down there, so they're
It's a
leaving.
ghost
They're
town.
the last. Well, it's funny because up to the train tracks, it's actually kind of having a renaissance in the city. United Arts has paid for buskers to be in that courtyard, and all those places are full in that 55 West Plaza.
I mean, let's see, right?
But on the other side,
because
it's
all that
completely
stuff
empty.
is still new. You also have a history there of restaurants not being able to make it. So Saks moved in there, and good luck to them. I hope that works out. And Fringe is up there, and let's hope the situation doesn't go the way of Mad Cow for them.
Right.
But
that is going around
more
town.
to the
Mad cow
point
disease
that
is still-
that gem
Hoof and
that
face.
used to be Church Street Station that Bob Snow redeveloped is I'm worried about it because they were the last. I think the ghost tours are still
but they don't
have
really.
an office there,
is it our office or they just meet there?
Yeah, you know where
I don't know.
ghost tours love abandoned things. that is a bad sign.
Yeah, it's like we're creating our own environment.
We're here, the old mill.
We manifested this.
And the old orange factory, Palaca. But so,
Oh, by the way, my wife in the chat room wants to point out that I still have my muscle mugs from Hamburger Mary's because I was the 20,000th burger when they still served muscle mugs, which was a giant muscle.
Oh, yeah.
And I still have my muscle mugs. They stopped doing it because they're too expensive. The goddamn muscle mugs, they're like $20 a piece.
Yeah.
So it's going to be impossible to make Church Street anything close to where it was just because. You think so? Like, how are people going to, like, now it doesn't seem like people are just wandering to a place where everything's
I think
happening.
it kind of fell apart when, sorry, I think this was a you conversation, but
No.
But fuck y'all.
You're okay.
I got opinions.
Say them.
Yeah, it is.
I think it kind of fell apart. Yeah, because he lived with them all the time. Yeah. We're together. We're gay together. If you know, we're gay together. We have a gay dog named Bertie Toppin together. He doesn't get
Bertie's
gayer
not
than that
gay.
shit.
Yeah.
He's not gay though. He loves women.
Neither is Bernie Toppins.
and
I don't know what
not.
you're saying right
No
now.
matter what we, no matter
He's high.
No matter what we did.
In my
What was I
experience
saying?
with dogs, they'll hump anything.
Same as Scotty's the same way.
Dude, dog, whatever.
I'm the same way. Very much.
Dry humping everybody. And I keep telling him, use your hands. Handshake, Scotty.
So
Handshake.
what were you saying?
I don't know.
What do you think?
Oh,
could happen
Church
there?
Street.
So it was at its best when it was all owned by one person, like the Ottoman Empire in
Yeah.
the Middle East.
Is a dictator in there?
Is that because of shared direction, maybe, or less?
I think so. So there's a shared vision of
Right.
what was happening there, and they would, they were in charge of the street parties. They were in charge of what was happening.
Yeah.
And but
Yeah, we've seen this in Sanford, and one of the only ways that they're able to pull off what they do there is that all of the businesses seem to, and it looks very difficult, and they've told me it's very difficult, but they all work together.
Yeah.
And working together is not easy for anybody to do.
And there was a Church Street Main Street, but they found it wasn't enough to keep them busy.
Well,
so it's
that
expanded to all of
morphed
downtown.
into city district. But
So it's kind of been abandoned, and they really went downhill. Yes, it went downhill when they started fracturing the properties, but it also went downhill when the parking went away under I-4. So there was nowhere, like that parking under I-4 was literally
difficult.
for Church
Yeah.
Street. Everybody could just park there and walk over. But when that went away, they're not comfortable with parking garages for whatever reason. Orlandoans like surface parking. And so when that went away, they didn't go to Church Street anymore.
that also will have to change. I mean, people just need to
It
change their
will.
attitude. If you want to go downtown, it's a city, and parking isn't. That's the way it happens in any other city.
What is the drawback to a garage?
Yeah, I don't know.
Stress, anxiety.
Or are people afraid it's going to collapse, or is it
Or
smell
there's
like
a
Lady
charge.
Pee? Or...
There's a fee.
Well,
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, but you'd still have to pay. Like, even when I parked under there to work events on
Right.
Church Street, I'd still have to pay.
You had to pay. Yeah.
I think it's just it was always what people did, and then they don't want to change. Like it could be as simple as that.
There's
Like,
that.
It actually is driving more people to the Main Street districts because it's easier to park at a Main Street district and walk around.
So is the food hall thing? Is that still
Yeah,
a
so
go, or-
so all of those properties are being purchased by one guy, and I think it's Craig Mateer is his name, right? From Boxes Inc. He sold that big company. It was like they would deliver your luggage from the hotel to the airport, like check it for you. That
Okay.
was his business, and so he sold that.
We all have our
and now he's
passions.
bought everything. He owns the Ceviche building. He owns the House building. I think he owns the Harry Buffalo building. They own the Church Street station, like the actual, just the old train station. But what was left is the Bumby building. I really only had one tenant, and that was Hamburger Mary's, and then that other, like Cheyenne Saloon.
yeah. That thing's
that's
been
owned by-
abandoned for so many years.
Well, it's owned
events
by. I want to say Trinity, but it's not Trinity. It's the people who built the big AC hotel tower behind
Yes.
it, and they're building a second tower. Orchid Garden is going to be a food hall. They're working on it now. I don't know what the holdup is.
God,
Right,
the term
that's right.
food hall to
Timeline.
me is just so... It's like, come on, everybody, get in the food hall. Put your face in there and eat it, you big fat piece of shit. That's like, I'm sorry if you
I want you to go to the packing district one.
I don't like that term either. Packing district, food hall. I'm kidding.
I loved it. We just toured that. It's open now. It's open this weekend. It opened today at 11 a.m.
Is it on your
gorgeous?
Is it on your feed where people are making comments about it looking like an airport inside?
It looks like it's the first thing I say when I walked in. Is it feels very airporty, and it's
I love the vibe of the airport.
The kiosk feel. I don't know why I went like that. It's like I was jacking off a big minotaur. The kiosk in the middle looks like I would assume. From what I've seen in those digital. Minotaur porns on Pornhub.
Minotaur cocks. The base is like about a foot in diameter, I believe.
Like you got to have a telescoping butthole.
But even
a lot of poppers.
If this
all the poppers.
Is the answer just opening up cool places because
it's a unified vision.
It's because all right, look at like Sanford, right? Sanford's become a place where you don't have to, you could just show up and then you know something's going on, right? You know there's going to be either a street party, some sort of something.
Quit hyping Scotty up. He wants to move there so bad.
You want to go down the road? Yeah, it's nice.
And so
shut up.
And that's
really
what
nice. No.
That's what Church Street
when I retire
used to be. You knew there was something going on, but now that it's dead, to get back to the point where they have the ability to do that many street parties, because once you do one and it fails, you're done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, is it just dead?
No, I think the future of it is retail and special events, and like their footprint is big enough in some of those spots. Like they could get like a large box store to come in. I don't know.
But there's no more foot traffic. Like there's no more
they're
people.
Building those 2 new towers right behind it, and then the surface parking lot over to the, I don't know, what is that? What's that street? Not Central.
Oh, on Pine?
I guess, Pine.
Behind the exchange.
That could easily have a tower, so like they need more people living around it because the office workers are gone. So if you want to support those uses, you just need more people living there. And Paramore's going up. They just approved this giant 35-story tower just west of the stadium, the soccer stadium.
It's one thing that's weird to me though is you have all those games that are happening down there, and you have the concerts and stuff, but it doesn't seem like those at least what you hear from the business owners in Paramore is they've never been supported like they expected from the soccer.
Yeah, they can't capture that crowd, and most of the crowd, at least in Paramore, you see them. Like, but we don't. Are we in Paramore before we go to a game?
We haven't.
No.
So you just no.
If we're going to like
this is
Super
national,
Rico
right?
Columbiana, we're going to
Well, we all do the same thing. We don't like there's
right.
Like,
I lock my doors. I park. I run inside as fast as I can.
I park outside of the area and I sprint through.
We were trying to do Big Storm until we had experiences there where like one time we went
about the close anyway.
Yeah, that we went there one time with the nephew and we were trying to impress him, take him to a hockey game and everything, and we sat down and they said, "Oh, we're not serving food today."
We were like, "Why?" They're like, "Oh, we just got too busy and we can't keep we can't keep up. We can't keep up. We're supposed to be closed.
Why is the kitchen closed? We can't keep up. We're not good enough.
That's what it was.
So they should say that. I would respect it if they're like, we're not good enough. We've been up more than we can do.
I wanted to call their boss and be like, they're turning people away because they can't keep up.
Tom and I do it. People ask us all the time, like, can you do that? And we're like, are you crazy? We can't even get close to that.
Well, okay. So this kind of leads us into our next topic, which we'll take a break. We'll get to because I want to talk about Gideon's Bake Shop.
Okay.
And the story of what went on.
I know what I heard.
When Daniel told me, I was like, that doesn't sound real, And
because you've met him, he's been on the show, right?
Well, Steve, I've known Steve from Uberbot days. Like, I've got art that he helped me get from his buddy Terribly Odd hanging in my house. Like I've known that guy for like almost 20 years. Like so, the whole story to me, I was just like, that doesn't.
That's on him.
Not to slight other media, but the Sentinel had a great piece yesterday.
They did. Orlando Weekly. She's
did that,
garbage.
Right?
Amy Drew.
Yeah, she's great.
She did a one because she knows them.
Yeah, she did a really good job. Did all her homework and dotted the I's and crossed the T's.
What a
and
journalist.
interviewed people and
all right,
that sort of thing.
We'll talk about that when we come back.
I didn't because it was too much work.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it either. You know what I do? AI. Scrape the other articles, change them a little bit, and write me something. All right, the name of the band is Lava Leroux. The name of the song is Love Bite. We'll be right back with more Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. You've heard us talk about this. You've heard me talk about my wife testing her hormones.
Yeah.
myeternalvitality.com. That's Dr. Powers. And I have some reports to make. It's still a little too early, but I will say that some of the symptoms that she's been battling for years and years, maybe we're seeing an uptick. Maybe we're seeing less cramping. Maybe, I know that's TMI, but I'm just saying. Look, this is real stuff. I'm still in the process of testing all of my stuff. I'm on a couple supplements right now. But yeah, man, getting your health in order, it's not a bad thing to live longer. It's not a bad thing to want
feel better,
to move better.
And that's the main thing. Is like, can you feel better now? Like, are you feeling bad? There could be a reason for it, and it could be your hormones, because as you age, they get off, right? So, like, human beings weren't even made, like, we're never supposed to live this long.
Yeah.
So, at middle age, all of a sudden, your hormones start getting off.
I was supposed to have died at birth.
And you look at what celebrities do, and stuff, like, they've been doing this for years, but now it's gotten to the point where someone like Dr. Powers and My Eternal Vitality can help the people listening and stuff, and it'd be reasonable, and you could feel better, especially like Andrea with her hormones are off, and now he's helped balance them out. And because when your hormones are off, your body could be blasting
like
cortisol,
sweating, the heat, weight gain, not sleeping well at night.
Your body thinks it's under emergency. It starts emergency storing fat. You can't ever lose it. You're tired all the time, so therefore it's hard to work out. Same thing with men. Your testosterone's low. You're tired, you can't work out. It's like you could balance that out. You can get it to a healthy level.
Sure.
He monitors it, and it's the most healthy way to do it.
But it's a point of contact, and like for those of you that have been concerned, or you wanted to talk to somebody, well, we're offering that to you now because Dr. Powers is really cool.
Yeah, free consultation for any Tom and Dan listeners. When you call in, just say, "Hey, I'm a BDM, a Tom and Dan listener." He'll help you out. He is a BDM himself.
He is indeed.
So he can help you. We've all here, Daniel, me, Andrea, went through the whole process. His team is great. Just contact him. Like I said, talk to him. See where your levels are at. It's myeternalvitality.com.
Life is the result of that. What you see, you thought of that. Numerology, revolving numbers under fitted caps, solving hidden mysteries. The mirror's where we started at.
This is an interesting track. This is my buddy, and you may have even worked with this guy at the time at Real Radio. Paradox. He used to release music here in Orlando.
Oh.
And
I remember
he hit me
Paradox.
up. He still has my number. He hit me up. That's a brand new song from him called Mirror. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
We have Brenda. We have Scotty. We're chilling out. We're keeping it loose.
Hey, everybody.
Real quick, Eric.
Stay loose.
He texts me to remind everybody that he will be selling merch upstairs at the Ritz Theater in Sanford next Friday when we do our ACT live show.
Okay, upstairs.
We have new, but only because their lobby's small.
In the merch lounge.
So if
you're not selling it. It should have been the Tom and Dan merch lounge.
if you want to go to the merch lounge,
Sponsored by Mo.
And
the Mo DeWitt merch lounge.
Doors open at 5. We got stand-up comedy starting at 6, which we changed. We had a little bit of a change because our buddy Ken Miller got an opportunity to open for Godfrey that weekend. So
Gilbert Gottfried?
Ross, he's dead.
That's some show right there.
But
no wonder he can't.
Ross Padgett is stepping in and doing some stand-up.
Racist Dracula
at your thing?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Ross is going to come
Keep
do.
your pants on, Scott.
We love Ross.
Ross McCoy is going to be hosting.
sagging, blah, blah.
And Vince Taylor is going to be doing stand-up. They start at 6, so get there early at 5. Buy a T-shirt. We got brand new ACT shirts for sale and some other merch, and we're
You're
giving
so
away.
Fucking good, dude. You just said brand new ACT shirts.
Yeah. Was I talking? So good at talking?
That was brand new AC
Okay.
T-shirts. Dude, this guy's the king.
You don't understand how frustrating it is to be myself. I was doing live read.
He's going to break. If you guys want to leave right now before he pulls the gun out, you can.
No, I want to watch.
On Fridays,
Yeah, you're big. We can hold it.
on Fridays, we do our commercials before the show to record them. Daniel edits them, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I've
You're
been
too hard on yourself.
I've been doing
this
this
guy's a
shit.
maniac.
20 years. I've been doing commercials 20 years. That is not even exaggeration.
No, you've done thousands.
Since 2004 to 2024. That's how long I've been working in some sort of broadcasting. You know, even though in the early years didn't do that many commercials, but then there was a lot. Anyway, my point being, even today, I get to the end of a Sports Subaru ad. Or was it Subaru?
Merchman, hold on. Breaking news. Merchman says... He's in the chat room, and he said, no, outside.
No, he's not going to be outside. No, he's going to be outside?
Yeah, and then Tracy says
God.
right after Merchman, she says, no, he's selling outside.
That'll be hot.
Wow,
And then
that's
Tracy
crazy.
says we can set his table up outside between the door and the call window.
Bring a fan.
And then everybody's screaming, look at the chat, look at the chat.
No, hold on. No, that wasn't the plan. Eric, the Mershman was supposed to be outside.
We would have found you, Eric. We would have found you.
No, he's upstairs like we've done for
He
years.
says not upstairs, outside.
Okay, well, what are you going to do at the break between the stand-up comedy? There's a 15-minute break before we start. That's when you're going to stay outside? Or we're done? I thought it was upstairs.
The
Have him
balcony
in
is
front
for
of the
making
stage.
out.
Should I have not said that?
No.
Would you have rather me left it upstairs?
No, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I can't even do a live read. I'm bad at it.
I thought you were doing great.
Let's go back to you being bad at commercials. Go.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so I flubbed the commercial. I could, I messed it up at the end.
He got to the end of the commercial, and there's this thing you do when you're reading an ad where you're going,
No,
you're just
reading
kinda,
it.
you're like, well, you're riffing, and you're kind of doing your thing, and you're using. I don't even know how it works, and you're just like firing off these phrases and stuff, and then if you
see the end,
he's right. If you materialize this finish line in any way, like if you say like I'm gonna go pee after this, or if you're like I see the finish line, or like I need to get a bite to eat, or anything, you lose it. You fall. It's like you lost your magic and you can't levitate. You fall to the ground.
You got to find your happy thought.
After 20 years, I should be doing.
You broke your illusion.
Yeah, but it should be impressive. Like this guy, he can read a fucking good commercial.
Yeah, but
like,
my point is,
then I'm like, I can do it because
we
at
had
20 years.
We had 5 to do. He did 4 perfectly, and then the last one he saw the finish line. And this brother, he gets up and goes, God damn, I should be better than this.
I'm not even reading. I couldn't read it. Like, if you gave me something to read, I'd be fucked. Like, if you're like, hey, do this commercial I've never seen before, like I can only talk about the sponsors that we've known and talked about for 15 years. If I have a practice for 15 years, like Sports Subaru, they've been a sponsor for maybe even 11 years. Right. Really. Then I can't do it. I still can't do it. Anyway.
Well, we did some new
Gideon's.
Let's talk about Gideon. Let's talk about these cookies.
A lot of people don't know about this.
These emo cookies.
Because they're not plugged in like you guys are. They're unplugged like me. I don't know nothing.
Great place to be, too,
Yeah. So what? Gideon's is a popular bake shop that's got super popular. Like when? How many years ago?
Well, Steve started it in 2020. Well, he started the Gideon's Disney location.
Okay, yeah, but before
Disney
that,
Springs, rather. I don't know. What 2015?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
I remember. Okay, here's how I knew of it. So, and I didn't say. People would ask me too, or like, oh, this is a hot topic. I didn't feel the need to say much because I know Steve. I love Steve. He's always been good to me and my family.
Same.
I knew him when he had the little store in the Winter Park Village known as Uberbot. It was a comic book and collectible blind box toy store before blind box toys were everywhere. And I have a whole collection of different blind box toys and comic books that I used to get from his store. That was his original store.
Nerd.
On his, and Andrea has them too.
Brenda likes bullying. Like
On
me.
the side,
Fuck that guy.
Your Canadian bully is here, my man. Like, he loves this Canadian bully.
Yeah.
Bullying and teachers getting to work. Enough with these parties.
What are we paying him for?
So here's the interesting stories. Before he was making the cookies, before he was in Easton, before he was at Disney Springs,
Suck a dick for crack.
He would no. That was me.
I went hard.
He would make cookies or he would make cakes, and he would make my wife, because we knew him. He would make a red velvet cake.
I remember this.
Yeah, and it's the we got one. Oh, we got one for Crystal one time.
Yeah,
before he even had. Yeah, okay. So he's just doing it for friends and family, and it was like a thing. And you'd eat the cake, and you'd be like, "Holy fuck, this is like the most amazing cake I've ever had."
That was like 15 years ago, because that was at your first studio and Daniel's first house.
Yes.
And I remember you talking about like, "Hey, I got this red velvet cake."
Well, Crystal had it, I think, a piece, and then we got her a slice or something. I forget what we did, but we got her some too. But yeah, it was just really, really good. Fast forward, I guess he said he coming out of some heartbreak, he created the whole, like, I guess the branding and everything, and he decided to kind of put it out there as a business. So that's how I came to know him. And then when he started the one in East End, we would get his cookies. They're really, really good. Top shelf ingredients. It's an unconventional cookie that's sort of like a fudge. It's huge. It's like,
and he always had lines there.
Oh yeah,
he always had lines. But then he pitched this guy in charge of Disney Springs for a shop there, and he had everything, down to the signage, like what it could look like, and they were very impressed. And so he actually talked his way into a location at Disney Springs.
Here's another tie-in. The art.
That rent at Disney Springs, we knew. I got a buddy that knows what. Like, he told me what he paid, and it blew my goddamn wig off. Like, I was like, this may be wrong, but it was like $60,000 a month or some shit, like some crazy. I was like, what?
And you have to be open every day of the year.
Yeah. It's like insane. But I guess,
but all that branding as an artist, terribly odd that I knew of. That's always been sort of one of Steve's friends. It's all like it's always felt very family oriented. I have a couple of his pictures hanging in my house.
It's like very Victorian, Edgar Allan Poe.
Moody, real moody, emo-y type stuff. And so I always knew of it like as a sort of a package. And so when you're talking about him pitching Disney, he's that guy. Yeah, he's going to have like it down to, hey, we got to have a gremlin on the top of the peak of the house. Yeah. We got to have
and he's hands-on with everything. He handles the social media still. He's there making the cookies. He'll never franchise. He'll never ship cookies because he knows that they're best, within a certain window after purchasing them.
He wouldn't ship cakes or anything. Like if we ordered a cake before he had a shop, he would. Like, he wouldn't even send one of his friends or anybody else to deliver the cake to your house.
Yeah.
He'd be like, hey, it'll have to be this time because I don't trust anybody else to deliver this cake to you. And it's...
Well, you guys sound biased. Like, this is your friend now.
It is my friend. So I'm just pointing out
what happened.
Yeah, I didn't feel the need to say anything but I did feel bad for him because I'm seeing this and I'm like, this does not sound right.
So what's
people are signed? They're lying. So this shop in Disney Springs is so popular, people are lining up for like 6 hours to get cookies almost every day.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Right? And so people found out, they were like, wait, they have a shop in downtown Orlando. So people are now driving from Disney Springs to downtown Orlando to get cookies because it only takes an hour to do it that way. And then you don't have to wait 6 hours in line for the cookies at Disney Springs. They are doing something that Visit Orlando has been trying to do for years, which is to capture a percentage of tourist travel and get them to come downtown. They've never been able to do it. Their target is 3%.
Right.
So and I would love to see what the numbers are, like how many people he is sending to Audubon Park, middle of nowhere, downtown Orlando, to be getting these cookies. And then they hang out at the food market. They're hanging out at East End Market. They're walking around. They go to vintage shops across the street. So he is having a palpable impact on downtown Orlando through his cookie tourism. And so,
tell me about the bad, Brendan.
The bad. So everyone's watching him, right?
He's super popular. He's doing well.
Sell the terrible.
And usually that's when you're doing really well, and people perceive you being like maybe even more successful than you are because they don't understand business. And I
was on CNN and got death threats.
It's super. It's super impressive though too when you look at like the branding.
Yeah.
The product, the photos, the space at Disney, the merchandising, how it all ties together, the backstory, the origin story of each cookie and each character that goes with each
very
cookie.
full of intention. Everything has intention behind it.
You're selling
deliberate.
You're selling a $1.50 cookie for $25.
Yeah,
that's
well,
what
they're giant.
I like that.
I think closer to 8.
I'm joking. Listen, I love
we are biased because we got mad at him.
I wish I sold cookies.
You have to explain what happened, though.
All right, Scotty. All right.
All I sell is shitty commercials I flip on.
So a group,
Sorry, Scotty.
this account showed up on Instagram. It's called Ghosts of Gideons, and they made like an 8-page treatise of complaints about things that they think are going wrong at Gideon's and things that they would like improved, or else they're gonna make that cookie castle crumble. That's a quote.
Okay, all right.
And by the way, when you put those things, and I've been trying to tell people, when you put those things in your like serious letter or whatever, it's in. That's the end of it for me.
It was so theatrical.
Yeah.
And so some of the claims. Do you have the claims there?
Let me see here. Yeah,
One of them offhand was about
how
many times they have to shake their cold brew before they serve it. So every time someone else orders a cold brew, Steve has decided through his science that you need to shake it maybe 10 to 15 times. I can't remember before it's served, because then you get optimal coldness. That's the peak of its flavors.
Right. That's the Gideon's way.
All right.
It's the Gideon way. He's franchised this way. That's their practice. And they hate it, apparently, according to this letter.
Okay, well, that's something I have in common with them.
Right, we got people in
I
mind.
to shake this. I'll shake it a couple times.
Sammy will shave an hour off the weight.
This is where it goes back to me, though, because he knows I'm this way.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm real big on, like, if I have a process, I do it around here with people that have edited for me. Anybody that's ever edited for me,
Well,
I'm
that's
like,
your
look,
OCD.
It's your job.
You may think you have a better way of doing it, but if you want to work for me, you're going to shake that motherfucker as many times as I tell you to shake it, or you can get the fuck out.
But the other one, did you see the 9 a.m. meeting? They had a 9 a.m. staff meeting.
These are weak people.
And he was so mad, I'm assuming it's a he, was so mad that they got called in for a 9 a.m. meeting, and they're like, that's bullshit.
Reddit says it's a 33-year-old woman, but I'm just throwing that out.
Well,
Who knows? Reddit says.
Listen, most things that
Did nothing get done because I hate those meetings? I've been a part of plenty.
That's a good
But
one.
not
you call
enough
me
that
in-
you're calling to topple the tower because you had to go there at 9 a.m.
Like, if you go back to me on this one, I would say this is the only one that I was like, 9 a.m. meeting, you could have made, made an email or something. Like, that one got me. I'll get
but
that
it's
one.
corporate wine.
But not the things that you're supposed to do throughout the day. Get your
The biggest complaint, and the one that stuck with most people, though, to be fair, was about pay. And they're saying they get paid $8, I think, and 15 cents an hour because it's a tipped position. And then they said that they were told that they were not allowed to collect tips anymore, and that it had dramatically affected the money that they were taking home. The issue is, and I know this because we've now since seen a statement from Steve, they're not stopping people from collecting tips. You still get the prompt on that tablet when you pay, like you do at any other thing. This is an industry issue that, this is quick service, you're getting a cookie.
But people were asking.
But
that was
the issue was that, people were asking for tips. You're right. And so that is their policy, in that they're not allowed to ask or solicit for tips.
How do you ask
anymore.
for a tip?
Don't forget to give us a tip.
Wait, people do that?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'd be mortified.
So I
would never say that. I'd rather just I would never say, don't forget to tip me.
Hold on, for putting a cookie into a paper bag.
But
these are weak. This is a weak generation we're talking about. All of these cookie people are weak people.
Right. So the base pay is 8 something, but it's a tipped position because they are collecting tips. And with the tips, they were clearing $25 an hour?
Fuck.
And there's literally serving cookies. These aren't people who are cooking the cookies. These are the people in the shop who are grabbing it with a thing of paper and putting it in an envelope and then shaking your cold brew for you.
But I
gotta shake it 8 times, man.
So were they claiming?
I don't even shake my penis.
1, 2. Well, then you're playing with it.
So were the claims?
They should say you shake it more than 3 times. You're playing with it.
Were the claims bullshit? As far as like they said they were making $8 an hour, but they really were 25.
That's what it seems like. It seems like it's just a little off base, and also it kind of seems like they don't even work there.
Right, and it's just one person. There in the Sentinel article, they talk about how somebody who worked there said that to their knowledge, nobody was ever talked to or consulted, and supposedly this person was speaking on behalf of everybody.
Oh, so it was like a hearsay
kind of
from someone. And then why did the story even blow up? That's what
everyone hit Reddit, and everyone was talking about it.
And the Instagram account basically from my timeline here, it says that they sent the letter to Steve, and I read the letter. And here's one of the interesting parts about the letter that made me laugh, is that whoever wrote the letter, I'm not saying that your concerns or whatever are not valid. Take that out and flush it down the toilet. Just don't even worry about that. Worry about this. Even if they were valid, the things you were saying, you were like, we need a new exit inside the kitchen, and I'm giving you this letter on May 11th, and it must be completed by the 14th. And it's like, you don't have a concept of permits, Disney, rules, life, how things work, supplies, contractors, how it's going to look, designs, architecture. You're the dumbest human I've ever seen.
It passed health and safety when they built it.
Right.
So, and they're claiming it's not a safe kitchen.
Which is bullshit. It's on Disney property, so we know it passed because it wouldn't be there.
Right.
Anyway, it's crazy. And then the Orlando Weekly picked it up after it hit Reddit, because that's their favorite source, is to go to Reddit and steal people's things.
Oh, that's what we do.
They wrote a whole article.
That's what the News Junkie does, too. And I got it from him.
Because they're pro-union, right? Because they're on this whole union kick, Orlando Weekly, because people are reading about unions. And
Tom's anti-union.
So they love it.
Very anti-union.
No, I like the unions. My buddy works for the elevator
That's
union.
not what you were telling me when we were shopping for Starlinks.
He said most of his jobs, he shows up, he looks around, he's like, I'm not working today. And he still gets paid.
It's true.
Union. Do nothing, get paid.
I was a union. I was a seasonal employee at Disney, and I was paying union dues. I was a member of the union, but because I was seasonal, we failed this inspection. Everybody else was allowed to continue on there with their job, but they fired me because I was seasonal, and I did not have a union rep after paying union dues for years.
Oh, no.
Isn't that crazy?
You got fucked.
Crazy.
I did.
You know what I never see is like union picketing lines anymore, and the scabs coming in through with buses, and Dan Marino
not an like a New England coal mine. Rudy.
Like, it never gets to that point. I think it's because everybody's afraid of social media. Like
they still do it.
Do they?
Yeah.
I never see the videos of the scabs, screaming.
I don't think people care about things that much.
Right, they'll pick it, but it probably doesn't. elevate
or those,
the drama.
I like a good scab. Because the person just wants a job, but he's being attacked by the other people. He's taking their job, but he's like, I just want to work for my family.
You have to try and compartmentalize it, right? You have to block it out.
Yeah,
but he has to, because his mom's sick and their kid has the black lung. Tiny Tim needs a turkey.
Yeah, I like that, like someone being so mad at a person just wanting to work for their family.
Does this do business, just to put a little bow on this, or does this do damage? Like Tom and I were kind of discussing that.
People commented. There were some comments. I think it was in the Amy Drew article or something. I don't know. Someone had commented, I was going to go, I really wanted to come here and get a cookie because I keep hearing about it, but then I stopped because I started seeing all this stuff on social media. So I didn't get it, and that's one person. So that took the time to comment. I bet there are some people who didn't go, but I'll tell you, the grand scheme of things, I think it just made the line shorter. There's still a line.
Right. If the line's shorter, if I'm Mr. Gideon, I'm like, what the fuck?
This guy's mad as hell.
Yeah.
You shake that fucking cold brew like your life depends on it, you rat.
I thought it was going to, I thought it maybe even help.
And if you wanted things to get better,
there's 100,000 tourists.
Let's say there was something wrong, which I don't think there was. But if there was something wrong, oh, hell's a-coming for the kitchen now. Because you just woke the dragon. So I'm about to make this shit. This is going to be crazy. You're about to get I'm in this psychological warfare. All of you motherfuckers are going to pay.
But it's
just like Terrence Howard. Remember how he said he was so angry that he wanted to use all of his powers to destroy mankind.
That $8, it's $8, but tips, and you see people, they keep bringing that up. It's not that much money. Sure, it's not that much, but they chose the job. They were told that.
People don't like that. I agree with that, but we get a lot of people, though. It seems like now we do have a lot of people that you chose the job, and people are like, no, it is my business to make sure that the entire world is treated fairly. And I'm not saying that's not a bad attitude, but I also feel like sometimes you're just saying that because you want people to hear you say that you don't really fucking care.
I think it also
person
spikes.
getting $8.
I was talking to somebody about this last night. I think things like this spike when there's protests or like other social cause things that are happening at the same time.
It's in the air.
Yeah, like especially with Gen Z kids. Like remember BLM, all those Gen Z vegans at Dandelion Community Cafe. They wanted to unionize and they wanted more pay and they wrote a letter. They went on strike and the owners were like, "It's literally a shutdown right now. We can't even afford to pay you what you're getting paid now. We're just going to close." And so they just ended up closing the shop. Pom Poms just had to rehire their entire staff, and because they all kind of quit en masse.
Antonella's did that, right?
Antonella's just did the same thing.
I saw that sign that says, "Sorry, not really."
And it's all that same age group of people who just get really upset about the way the world is. They want to change things, and then they storm out. So I think it's that. I think it's like an environmental thing, and I think it spikes when other shit is happening.
No, okay, so
That's interesting.
I just want to take
anthropologically speaking. This is Dr. Brenda.
That's a good take, Brenda. Thank you, Dr. Brenda. Back to you, Scotty.
So,
brought to you by LaCroix.
Let's just take the other side of this, just so we could have a balanced conversation.
So the chat room is saying, here's Kupo saying, this is a pretty bad take. So disappointing. I don't understand how is that a bad take, Kupo? I would say, how is it a bad take to say that maybe people are protesting something that
it's none of their business?
Or how do you determine whether or not, like this cookie thing?
Well, I haven't seen what they're even, if they are legal, like there's a legal pay in the United States and it's, so you have to follow the law, right? And as long as you're doing that, then the government is like, all right, well, they're not breaking a law. It's your choice to work here, right? And that's how it is. Now, I will take the other side. I remember when I worked for Champ Sports, Home Depot, Clear Channel.
You worked some of these jobs,
and I hated all of these jobs.
I never worked these jobs. Far too talented.
And then I remember being there, hating the processes that I had to go through, hating the corporate bullshit. Now, again, on your side of it, it's my choice to work there. I wasn't being held beyond my will, So, but I remember thinking to myself, I remember at Clear Channel one time, I did bring up hey, let's start a union. They're underpaying us. And then I got shut down. And all of a sudden, someone's like, "Hey, if you say that again, you'll be fired." I didn't realize how the corporations get real butt puckers when you start mentioning unions. But because I was a 22-year-old kid, So, but I remember thinking to myself, this is bullshit. They're treating everybody like shit. Everybody, we
got to do something.
And then I think
there's nothing wrong with that.
And then I think back then, because I just remember hating the company so much that if they went out of business, I'd be happy. That's my mentality as a 25-year-old kid that I was just miserable at my job, didn't like the shit that they'd make us do because it's a waste of time. Yeah. It's the standard corporate bullshit, right? And so, but the problem is when if I would have wrote down my arguments on some social media post and made it public, people would have clowned me just like this, so and then so if they're not breaking the law, it's their business. They do whatever the hell they want. It's my choice to work there. That should really be it, right? It's there's not egregious working conditions. It's they're following the letter of the law, and that I understand if you're unsafe working or whatever the hell, but it seems like there's no, and then I thought, is this even a thing? Did anybody even care?
It's funny. If it was a different operator, would we take? I don't know if maybe would I be faster to believe what they were saying, but I don't. But I feel like because I've worked with him before, and Steve, I've interviewed him. We've done lots of events together.
I would agree with that.
I just kind of knew. I have this better sense that, I don't think he would ever do that. So that's why we never picked it up. We never wrote about it on Bungalow. We talked about it on the show a couple times.
Well, for instance, the Antonella's Pizza, I know a little bit about that after researching a little bit about it.
I might write about because that's a mass walkout.
I'm not going to go into specifics, but I don't know if you researched a little bit about it. But I believe there is a family that kind of maybe they have a way of buying businesses that have a name in certain cities or towns, and then they use it as a way to maybe float themselves with a nice style of living, and then kind of axe the staff and liquidate it enough to get whatever they need out of it, and then move town.
That's what
And that's what it seems like. So to kind of
newspapers,
kind of go along with what Kupo was saying, you're going a little too fast. He was saying so every instance of people doing a mass walkout or something is virtue signaling. No, nobody's saying that every single one is that. We're just saying that when we're looking at some of these, that some of that could be that, and it is. It is some of that. But I think that this was all half cocked. I think anytime that you go to social media with a letter that's not properly prepared, and you could have asked 10 of your friends and said, like, read this, what do you think? And somebody's going to say, like, yo, this is half cocked. You need to slow your roll here. And if you really feel this way, there are better ways to do this, or you need an attorney, or you need to talk to Steve, or whatever. This was a bad way to handle it.
But it's everybody's right. Like, if you have an employer, you can go to them and say, I want to get paid more or I quit. And then either one or the other is going to happen, and then that's it. And by the way, more people should do that.
And tipping's weird too, because like when you're working at like a tipping restaurant, when I worked for Disney, I was getting paid $4 an hour, by the company to work there. But it was like a platform for me to do my thing and I made over $100,000 a year in tips. So
God damn!
Like it was like you're almost
$100,000 a year.
Oh, where is this?
At Le Cellier Steakhouse at Epcot.
Oh, I believe that.
Oh my
God!
God.
I just felt my scrotum lift.
Not all restaurants
he was
are the
really
same.
good, too.
So it's almost like
you're a chirper. Oh my God! I could see you as a server. You crushed.
I did crush. My brother and I had a Facebook fan group because they would come and visit us at the restaurant and we'd do moose calls with them and shit. Like they love it.
Why don't you still do that?
But we worked it. Did I love that I was getting paid $4 an hour to fill ketchups at the end of the night? Like I was like, they're not paying me enough to even do side duties here. But I had a job that gave me access to perform and work with people and make a hell of a lot of money. So like it's tipped positions. They're not. The businesses aren't using your tips to pay you. They're giving you a platform to fucking work at, And are all restaurants like that? No, I couldn't make that money doing that at the local college park, or Ollie's. But it's on me as an entrepreneur to shop around and make sure you're getting paid the best bang for your buck, because you're not getting paid for time. Getting paid for your time is the worst. That's capitalism. That's baloney. You should be getting paid for your talents and working it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Expertise, knowledge.
Well,
what you've done.
Well, you're talking like sales as opposed to, you're sitting in a cubicle and there's like, all right, or whatever it is, like you're.
I shouldn't have smoked before we talked economics. I thought we were just talking about titties today.
Yeah. So God, it was Economic Friday. That's titties was yesterday. Titties Thursday.
No, but I'm curious of like the other side of it, because I don't even really see another side of the argument. Like even, and also these people, now it turns out it's even more complicated because the person that wrote this to begin with is just speaking for another person who may or may not have even worked there. Like, so it's
that's the part that's interesting to me is that you can have
he
people
still has employees
now that can start like accounts and weaponize what is or isn't the truth, what is perceived, what is their variation.
At that point, it's slander.
Yeah, and then they can just, and the site's still up, and then Steve replied, and then they replied saying that he's gaslighting everybody, and then they put up like a crisis hotline number for anybody that's being abused. And then I look at that and I go, holy shit, this is bad. Like, this is just like not, because I'm an anxiety guy, right? So when I look at this, I'm like, gee, what a headache when all you wanted to do is serve a crazy cookie with a backstory. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, how did we get here?
There, like it is because on one side of it, like I understand both sides because I've been on both sides right now because we own a business, me and Daniel, and then we also work for multiple companies that we were displeased at working there.
We were
right?
taken advantage of,
and and then but again, we worked there voluntarily. It's like
well,
how
here's what
much
I would
shit
say.
can you talk?
I should have left a lot earlier than I did. Yeah. But I don't look at anybody and blame anybody other than me for not leaving. I got into a pickle where my income, I got into a hole where I couldn't afford to leave. I couldn't afford to make any changes, Right. And then it got to a shit or get off the pot like emergency scenario. But truth be told, the reason that I stayed there is because I was a fucking pussy about shit. And
there's also something to be said about having all that other crap taken.
But it's
care
on
of.
me. But I always think of it on me. Like when I say like I stayed there too long, or I felt like I wasted some of my good entertainment years, I don't blame anybody else. I don't go like, "Wow, I wish somebody had told me." I just know that was me, and I made that decision.
What's the other side of the argument? Like their side is like, "Hey, these things are happening," and I know on the outside when you read it, the other people are like, "This is nothing. It's not that big of a deal." Like, what are you complaining about?
I think it just comes down to the $8.
But
really,
then,
right?
So,
if the $8 were $15, would there be an issue?
Oh, but then it's like, so
if there were no tips, if it were just like,
I'm interested to hear why that's not if he could he afford to pay them a little more? Like I'm
sure
think
he could.
so. Like why not?
I'm sure he could.
Yeah,
so that is my flip side of it.
Well, it makes you wonder though what is the overhead, because you talked about what the rent was like out there.
Yeah, that's true.
So
but that's the thing. Like the business owner, it's their business what they pay their employees, and their employees.
You can't say that. That was the one line that
people got mad about.
Yeah, when he said
that's ridiculous.
Unless you're sitting
because it's
down,
no one else's business.
Being interviewed for a job, it's none of your business.
We don't live in
we
live more in a time now where people, and I understand what they're saying, and I think this is what they're saying. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think that what they're saying is it is our business because I'm a human and I want to make sure that this human is being taken care of humanly. And is that what they're saying?
Yeah, you can't just.
I get it. I can't disagree with that, but I also feel like it's
like the farm to table movement.
But there's also
if I can know the name of the chicken and where my chicken came from the farm, that's great. I want to know everything about what I'm eating and what I'm paying for. It's the same thing like you're paying for. Yeah.
So first, that's why we have the government and standards, right? There's a minimum wage, right? And that's why we can't have child labor, right? Although I bet you every one of these people, the people making these posts have a cell phone that was made by 12-year-olds in China. And how much do you really care?
But nobody dials
about
that. No, nobody does that.
Because it was like, but
where does it start? Right? I know some people in the chat room are saying like, well, why can't it's got to start somewhere. The groundswell of support for more pay, that's got to start somewhere. And does it start with these small instances of cookie selling kids questioning their boss to get paid more? Is that where it starts?
Possibly.
And maybe you can do that online, and maybe the boss won't fire you. Maybe he will, but that's your business again.
He will, because it's you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a right to work state.
Yeah. And there's no guarantee.
I think you give these people the like commenters and people who take on a cause in a self-righteous way, a person who says, "Oh, well, I was going to get a cookie, but I'm not going to get a cookie now because I kind of heard something on social media." I don't think people ask enough questions. I don't think they do research. I think they just jump right into something. And it may come from that, that place of I'm doing good, but they don't go out doing good in a well-informed way.
Oh,
it just spirals.
It's quick. I do that. I'm reactionary.
You read the headline, or
you just gave me a boner, Scotty.
You're like, there's something. But even like what Jay's saying in the chat room that we're wrong about. Like, I'm just curious. Like, what is the other side of the argument?
No, I thought we covered it. Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what we even said that could be construed as like, oh, these guys are.
I think it was.
It's basically stop using. Here's his last thing. Stop using the public to subsidize your employees' wages, full stop. So pay them.
Oh, well, that's just about tipping. Well, that's a whole,
that's the whole thing.
He sounds like someone who just doesn't want to tip someone.
But a lot of people don't like it when business owners, and again, I know this is not a good thing to say, but a lot of business owners say it, and I'm sorry, and they do say this, and yeah, you can go yell at them, but don't yell at me because I don't have an opinion on this. But business owners do say, well, I'm sorry, that's the rules, and I'm a small business, and I'm just going to adhere to the rules because I'm just here to do my business, not change the fucking rules.
Yeah,
and I understand that too.
That's up to you to vote in your local, whatever, if you want to change the law about tipping.
You can also vote with your dollars, and if you don't agree with what they're getting paid, then,
that's called strip club
within
voting.
Your rights to go somewhere else. I don't know a cookie shop or a bake shop that's paying their, I don't know what they're paying everyone else in other bake shops. I do know Valhalla Bakery pays their people tons, and they have health insurance.
So what's always been a
tiny little setup.
I wonder how much it would fuck our entire system and world up. Let's say United States, if everybody's pay was public. like it would fuck everything up, right? Like it would shut.
Well, the first week would be real bad. There'd be a lot of fight. There'd be it'd be like the Purge for a little while.
Think about that.
Choking people, fist fights in the office. The first day is rough
because there's an element.
Not enough police to cover it.
Yeah. There is an element in our society of shut the fuck up about your pay. Like I've always been fascinated with people's pay and like been open about it. That's what
I'm just fascinated with all the people that suddenly know business. Like everybody's, you should do this. If you can't do this, you got to do this. I'm like, how's your business doing?
Right.
Oh, you don't have one? Okay.
But the amount people get paid, it's all over the place, right? Like, because there's small businesses.
What if it was
and
just standardized? What if paid, like, for whatever job, it's just standard?
No, then
cookies going to be way down. Cookies are way down.
Oh, yeah.
Cookies are way down.
Now people are confused about whether to like you or not.
They're really fucking
They're like, now you're talking socialism? Hold on.
Yeah, did you see Brenda? She was on the show. She had her gun. She was telling everybody, get the fuck away.
I was waving my flag. Now you're a goddamn socialist.
Did you hear Brenda had lips in her shoes? Oh, my God.
Say what I want.
She's like the governor.
The point is, it's insanely complicated, but it's like...
It's an interesting thing to kick around because, like, I agree with even the things that people are saying that I don't necessarily go like, oh, that's my take, but I see what you're saying. I get it.
And there is an element, like Scotty was talking about, no one researches the truth or even bothers to care. They just see some, like...
No, I don't.
They see some meme and they'll make a decision off of a meme or whatever. And then there's no, like, we talked about it in a prior show, like, through AI, some principal, like, an employee tried to make the principal...
Yeah, it was the athletic
voice,
director.
Yeah, make him say some, like, horrible things that ruined his reputation. He put it out, and then it turns out it was just AI, but the damage is done already. This guy's fired. He's in his town. Like, people don't ever go back and find out the truth. It's just like, oh, I heard about this guy. He's a piece of shit. And then you're like, oh man, like this guy's life.
You know, sometimes I think about what it would be like. Okay, this is where we slip into one of my fantasies.
Let's do it.
Sometimes I think what it would be like to move to a city. I think about this when I'm high. I moved to a city, and it's because I had to move from the other city because everybody thinks I'm a piece of shit.
Wow.
Like, but I did something.
It travels with you now.
Like something like if I cheated on Andrea or...
That's not that big of a
I know
deal.
that's not that. I can't even think of something that I would do.
If you ate her. Like for Thanksgiving dinner.
No, you know what?
And then we all found out.
Oh, you know what's one that everybody...
Give me a good one.
Everybody really dislikes.
Where I'm the pariah, and then I got to move out of town.
And where if Andrea got some disease, and then you left her.
Oh, yes!
That's called the politician.
Because I would do this. I would do this. This one's confirmed. This guy knows me? God, I love
You would? Because you couldn't handle seeing her deteriorate?
No, it's not that.
It's more of like...
He got a disease. He knows me so well. He's like, it's more of an ooh, and I was saying gross was coming out of my mouth. Like, all of it is like, and she's like in the wheelchair, she's like, you can still sit on me. I'm like, I'm not interested in that. I was like, you don't even, what happened to you? You're a shell of the woman you were.
No one leaves their significant other after they, like, change your life, lost 100 pounds.
Yeah, but your wife said.
But your wife's going to leave you.
But here's why us emotional people must stick together. Your wife did tell you one time that if you had 100% burns on your body that she would leave you. And I was like, yes! There's another one.
No, it was
and I high-fived Crystal and I hugged her.
It was if I went bald. She said,
no, I thought it was the burns.
Scotty, would you leave me if I was covered in burns?
Yeah, like if you...
I'm seriously sitting on a couch with you dressed like that, and you think... if I haven't left yet.
No, like you think about it every time I put this wig on.
If Scotty looked like from Fallout...
Freddy Krueger.
No, Fallout. It's the Goggins.
Oh yeah, with the no-nose.
Yeah.
No-nose.
Oh like, yeah, no-nose Goggins.
Yeah, if I look like no-nose Goggins, if you look like no-nose...
I would 100% sleep with no-nose Goggins.
You put your dick right in his nose.
100%.
Put your dick right in his nose.
He had that BDE. You
know why you can tell with him? Because he's so tall and skinny.
Yeah. And he saved the dog. And I was like, that's a good
baby
guy.
Billy Cop.
The minute he saved that dog, I said, yes, sir.
All right, let's take a break.
Yes, sir.
And when we come back, we'll do some voicemails, some emails. Woo! Brenda and Scotty can help us answer some voicemail and emails.
Voicemails with Brenda and Scotty.
You know what? I forgot to give you your song. I forgot to give you your song. I got you.
Okay.
You did?
Yeah, here we go. Check this out.
Oh, you can't hear it.
Yeah.
What's she trying to say?
Yeah, it's just like a cool little dance bop for you.
Who?
I love it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
You want any song? 12 seconds.
What do you want? $5?
It's almost not even worth it.
We don't even pay our AI. That's $7 an hour. Plus tips we give our AI.
Art, writing, songs, worth nothing now.
The name of the band is Neon Rayon. This is a fun song because it's like punk electronica. The name of the song is Neon Rayon Theme. It's their theme, everybody. We'll be back with more A Mediocre Time right after this. 1-844-TOMNDAN show at tomanddan.com for emails. Oh, man, we haven't done this in a minute. It's the Tom and Dan Cruise 2024.com, brought to you by our friends at Pyro Spot, Don Mealy Sports, Subaru. We love those guys. White Claw, Celery City Craft, Modern Plumbing Industries, Bud Docks, Villain, and our buddy, Just Call Mo.
Yep, and May is basically the last month to book your cruise, so if you want to go, we set sail in September.
Yep.
All the information is at tomanddancruise2024.com. Inside cabins start at $1,000, but that gives you the unlimited free drink package for two, the 2 free Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So once you get on the cruise and once it's paid off,
it's like $600 value.
Because
I mean, it'll get up there. It'll get up there.
Unlimited drinks for the whole weekend of 2 different stops.
And it works on the private island. So when we go to the island, don't think you got to bring your cash. Just bring your card. And boom, if you have that unlimited drink package, you're good to go on the island.
And I know, like, we're bringing our families, and some of my Miami friends are coming and bringing their families.
I didn't say that. Did I say that?
You can, because how it works is you get a lanyard. It'll show all the Tom and Dan events. And if your family, I mean, there's so much stuff to do.
The massive ship, brand new ship.
Yeah, on the ship. You should check it out. MSC Seashore is the name of the ship. It's gigantic.
There's a video of the entire, like, the destination, the boat, and everything. If you check out tomanddancruise2024.com, you can see everything. Video on the bottom of the page.
Yeah. So it's a cool cruise to even go take your family, and then if you want to come to our private events, just come and hang out because
you're an adult.
They're a couple
you
hours
come to the adult stuff, and then you let your kids go splash around with SpongeBob or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you meet up for dinner, and then they don't think their dad's a deadbeat.
We do a live podcast. We're doing a little special thing after that. Then we're doing some Mediocre Idol, which is our karaoke.
You didn't talk about the secret yet. There is a secret.
And anyway, it's a fun time. You get to hang out with me and Daniel, and I know John Bustecker, Brendan O'Connor's coming.
Cadillac Pat's going to be on the boat.
Cadillac Pat's coming, and a lot of other listeners you've heard on the show.
Pedophile Chris not on the boat.
We haven't seen it in a long time.
I don't know about that.
Anyway, it's tomanddancruise2024.com.
Oh, we're back. Hey. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
Real quick, let me plug Danger Brain, thedangerbrain.com. If you're looking for a brand evolution, if you have a company, you have a brand, it's good to evolve it because it gets stale after a while.
Yes.
It starts looking old.
Like a cookie that's been served to you.
And just like anything.
Somebody who's not being paid enough money.
Refreshing.
Nothing tastes as sweet as a cookie served by a poor person.
I actually like my food served by poor people. If it's served by a rich person, it'd be weird, right?
And then I'm like, stand right there while I chew this
Watch
chocolate
me eat
chip.
this.
So
Where's my wiping dog?
This cookie costs as much as you make in an hour, please.
I'm eating your way. I gotta get it out.
I do like eating someone's wage. TheDangerBrain.com. If you want to start a business and have some slave labor, they'll get you good branding.
Oh, God, it feels so much better now. Gotta get it out.
Like a fart.
Let's talk about on the job. So there was a premiere this week, and I felt like an asshole when was it last week? Oh shit!
I felt like an asshole for missing your birthday yesterday. It was a year ago.
I can't do that. You know, the kids.
You knew about it. That's all that
No, I don't. Back got to do this stupid running. I'm over the shit.
So 2 episodes are out.
Yeah, we're 2 episodes.
Is something going on with you? Because yesterday you wished everybody a happy Labor Day. Like, no. You all right, buddy?
I'm dying. Look how skinny I am. I don't, like, I have no...
You guys thought Tom has been training, but he has a tumor.
Anyway, so let's talk about it. So,
Okay.
First, I'm still confused about where to go online to watch
Yeah,
it.
let's nail that down, because I will say, out of any of the projects you've done, like, I feel like the production values on this are through the fucking roof. Like, it looks amazing. Yeah. And I feel like this is like, almost you've been building up to, like, this feels right, if that's what
it's so nice.
Yeah, it feels like you need the values to match your personality.
Oh, my gosh.
Does that make sense?
Well, keep talking.
Yeah. Tell us.
No, Oxenfree Films, local. They are amazing. We're gonna win an Emmy, I think, because it's a great show. I remember we watched the premiere last week. We went to Ravenous Pig Brewing, and I hadn't seen it. I watched it with everybody for the first time. Very drunk, excuse me.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like, this is a TV show. This is a real TV show. I'm on a real TV show as a real TV show host, and we're doing things, and it's funny, and everyone was laughing.
I remember watching our documentary and thinking, this is some amateur hour shit.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding.
This looks exactly like it should.
I'm like, I remember looking at it, I was like, oh my God, this is some Bush League Dog the Bounty Hunter bullshit.
I'm really proud of it. You can watch it's on very local. You can get an app on your phone or your tablet. Or you can watch it on Roku, which is, not everybody. 10% of American households have a Roku.
Only 10%?
That's what
Are
we
you
were
serious?
told.
I got a Roku in every, what are they called? Rooms?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you can watch it.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Well,
I'll watch
I thought
it.
that's the standard.
I don't know. That's what we were told. 10% of American households.
I think
I don't know. We have our TV. I was just able to add the app.
Well, wait a minute.
Okay.
Roku's built into TV. I think that's wrong.
Yeah,
I think that's wrong.
I do too.
Because 10% of 450 million is a good
Wait
amount.
a minute. Are these
That's
people
true.
cookie handlers? Because I can't afford a Roku.
Either way, very local. Go get it. It's owned by Hearst, which owns Wesh.
Yeah.
So it's a big media company.
That's that PP journalism.
What are the 2 jobs that you did during the 2 episodes that came out?
Well, it's 3 jobs per episode.
Okay.
He did his research.
I don't know why I even started talking.
And tell us more about your cookie taking.
We got this event going on next week. It's a small skeleton crew.
It's like 10 minutes per
And this guy,
play.
before our event, he starts adding, like, usually, I can't even tell this shit he's adding. He's making calls all morning trying to track down the
I'm
fucking
very
impossible.
excied. We're going to be there. We're going to be in your
I'm
event.
glad you're going to be there.
We are.
Question, because I do feel like you could win an Emmy. Will you accept as Brenda?
No.
Okay.
I'm answering that one.
Yeah, Scotty won't
Can't do
let
that.
me.
Can't do
Scotty
that.
hates
Scotty
Brenda.
draws the line.
I don't hate Brenda. I don't hate.
He hates Brenda.
Whenever the man goes, I don't like. 'Cause that's like me.
One of our
That's
listeners just picked up their flag again. He's like, I'm back again.
No, but that's what I said when Andrea, all the stuff that I have at Andrea's like, I don't hate it. It's a little much. Right? Is that close? Did I nail it? Is that, are you the Andrea?
Scotty knows if we're going so
We already
fancy,
know that.
It's easier for me to go as Brenda because I have fancy Brenda clothes. I don't have fancy clothes for a fat, hairy man.
Fat Harry, that's bullshit.
Stop.
I'm not
but
going to let you
it's
talk
easier,
about
and
yourself
it's
that way.
and I
There's
feel
a closet full for
I have
Brenda.
a closet full for Brenda. And Scotty's always like, "Can I go out? Can you go as a boy today? Can you be a boy?" Scotty will never.
Scotty's like a goddamn good American gay man. He's like, can we just have a man? God damn, with the drag queen woke ass drag queen bullshit. I just want my goddamn gay man back. God damn it,
Too
America.
much attention at Costco.
Yeah, right. And then it's always, the rest of the night is always like people talking to me. Or,
It attracts a lot of attention.
It does.
All right.
It does.
what was it? Jobs. So
Yeah.
the first one, the first episode we did.
You,
oh Lord,
you
what did I do?
Hamburger Mary's.
I did Hamburger Mary's, but they wouldn't let me do drag. So I was in like boy drag.
Yeah.
Weird.
The whole Hamburger Mary's wouldn't
No
let
drag
you.
when we're not during regular hours.
He didn't know he'd never seen my drag, and he was worried it would be too low class or something like it would bring down the show. But then I did their show, and I remember looking at a couple of the queens like, I got a better hair unit than
Talking some shit.
Wow,
I did, but I was the wizard. I was the wizard in the Wizard of Oz. We did like a brunch performance. I danced. I had to learn choreography. I'd never done that before. What else? Did I do?
You conducted the largest community orchestra in the nation world.
Yeah, in the nation. I conducted the largest community. Orchestra in the country.
Matt friend was on that.
Yeah.
Oh,
CFCR.
cool.
Yeah. Our buddy Matt was playing during that episode.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, and Hollerbox. And then I was at Hollerbox. I made Black Forest cake, and we learned how to wear lederhosen.
Oh, that's cool.
Most importantly, in Hamburger
With Christina.
Berries, at one point you can see a little bit of my head like this.
Yeah, a little bit of Scotty's head.
Nice. Look for Scotty.
Yeah, and then
we should have like a first person to send us a screenshot of Scotty's head wins a T-shirt.
Yeah,
seriously. Yeah. Courtesy of unofficially the place that Scotty works.
Brenda,
that we're not talking about.
Yeah, we're not talking about. But I'll send you a shirt.
So, what's the business behind? Is it like selling commercials during the breaks?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's same standard. Like,
they're also going to start doing sponsored shows for people next season. So, it could be like an embedded thing at Legoland, like a whole series at Legoland.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
I think they want to do another season though of On the Job, is what I was hearing.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Because I'm always curious because sometimes I'm watching shows and there's no commercials or anything, and then I'm like, who's paying for this? Like, it's just free content with no commercials.
Yeah, I don't understand.
It's like, here's some free
Tubi
hour of content. This took an insane amount of work to produce, and we're just giving it away for nothing.
But we are at a time where I feel like new stuff is always going to have commercials. But if you don't care about new stuff, like if you're a relatively low IQ person, it's awesome time because there's so much shows that'll blow your mind that are old, but they're still good for dum-dums, I feel like. Like, if you watch The Matrix now and you're, like, severely dumb, like, I feel like you'd still get out of the whole trilogy. You'd be like,
have to be dumb to like the original Matrix trilogy.
Well, it doesn't hold up.
Am I dumb?
No. I'm just saying it doesn't hold up.
I am pretty dumb.
Oh, I think it does, but there are movies.
I didn't know. The one movie I picked is two Matrix heads in it. They're like,
Keanu Reeves comes on screen, Scotty's pants drop.
What the last one with Jonathan Groff, that lost me.
Because you don't like Jonathan Groff.
Well, I can take
Who's Jonathan Groff?
What else?
How do we explain it to a straight person?
He's become famous.
Broadway.
He's a Broadway guy mainly. He was in Spring Awakening, and it was when I first saw him.
Scotty saw his bare butt on stage.
I did.
In Spring Awakening because there's a sex scene.
I always wanted to see Harry Potter's dick.
You can see it.
Equus and Equus.
Yeah,
Scotty saw
their screen caps.
Remember that when he was trying to get out of the Harry Potter? He's like, I'm going to go do Broadway, and I'm going to put out my Potter.
He's on Broadway. Actually, he's on Broadway right now with Jonathan Groff.
Oh, really?
When Scotty and I first started dating, his his background wallpaper on his laptop was full frontal.
This
Harry
is
Potter.
I like that. Scotty's a horny motherfucker.
This is lore that he comes up with.
I remember
at one point he said I hated Lizzo, and that was not
turtleneck dick.
Why do you hate Lizzo?
Come on,
because she's fat? Is it because she's fat?
No, he just made it up.
You hate Lizzo because she's fat.
I never hated Lizzo.
Oh my gosh!
And then didn't she make one of her dancers finger her butthole or something?
She got she almost got canceled, but she was
not for that.
She's good. And then she said, and then Lizzo was like, you know what? I'm giving up social media. And then it went away.
Yeah,
but
and then she came back.
You know who else gave up social media? Jelly Roll gave up social media.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. Everybody's so mean to him, calling him fat and stuff.
Why not?
See what you did?
Why not
Can't have anything nice. We had a big fat country guy.
Fat people. They hate successful fat people.
They do. We don't like to see fat people win.
No.
I say get out there and stomp, you fat kings. You got to get out there and do it, you big fat kings.
Like short.
What?
Yeah, I'm a short king.
You are a short king.
Yeah. Hey, it's Dan Dennis, short king for fat kings. Get out there, fat kings.
Good commercial.
Live a little. That's coming from the short king.
That's the way it's done, Tom.
Confidence.
Why not just give it to someone one of your employees to do. You're so like, why make why let the people that, because obviously he gave it away.
What are we talking about?
Like Jelly Roll or Lizzo, they gave up social media because I'm sure they're like tired of all the hate or whatever.
Get someone else to do it for you.
Yeah, and then just never look at it. It's like that.
The other thing is like you could, if that's really what you want, then you Instagram, you can turn off the comments. So just post.
Yeah,
stuff.
but there's nothing we hate more as short kings than people that turn off their comments. Because you're avoiding me telling you the way you should be doing it.
And even if you're not gonna tell them that,
sorry, took that away from you.
You're
well,
mad.
What I'll do. So if you were doing that, like if
it shows they win.
Okay, if you were working for a fat king and you turned off the comments. Me as a short king, I would go to that fat king's Instagram, and then I would go all the way back in your post and find the one time you didn't turn the comments on, and I'd be like, "Yo, still here, bitch."
Yeah, fatty.
Want to do voicemails?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a perfect.
How does this go?
All right, let's see what we got here. We have a character. We have a character named the Historian, and he has. Here's his question.
He was on last time.
Yeah, he agrees with my wife about the Magic games here.
What did you... Oh.
Hey, Tom and Dan. I was just listening to the recent ACT, Melissa's race, and at the end, Dan, you're talking about how your wife, Andrea, had some problems with loudness at the basketball game. I actually recently went to a Braves game in the, I think, newer Braves baseball stadium, and I am going to agree with your wife and make a similar complaint, but
wrong number.
In the way that they play really loud stuff all of the time.
Yeah, so the Magic kind of do that too, and I love it. Like, I love it. Like, I was telling your wife about this earlier today. Like, when I go to the Magic games, and it's like all rap music being blasted at me while I'm drinking a cold beer, and it's just nonstop dance party. I don't know why, but I love it.
Have they always done this? Because
no,
the last...
they have not. My dad would not have stood for it. He liked a little bit of quiet.
Remember when
basketball game.
Remember when Brian Zymel from Streamline Mortgage got us those really good tickets to the Magic Lakers game?
That was great.
And it didn't seem like they were blasting loud music the entire time then. It wasn't that long ago.
I think it has changed a little bit.
Or is it because of playoffs?
Well, no. You know what I think it is? And I could be wrong on this, but I'm just going to give you my guess. I think it's team for team. I think we have a younger team now, and I think younger teams like to play with music. Because when I see commercials, I see basketball players are always wearing these new Bose over the ear in-ear buds that stay in while you're running and while you're playing basketball. And I think it's the new style. God, I sound like an old man, but I think this is it.
No, you
I think
sound
we have a young Magic team that's badass, and I think when they play, they like the hype of the music, so they pick songs that they like, and I think they're allowed to do it, and they like it.
Well, if the owners, they pay the players, I think the owners, inside the arena are only going to do what the fans want, right? Because that's where the money is. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that.
I think the Magic has a history of doing what the fans want, but...
You're right. But so it has to be an environment that they're like, oh,
I love when Scotty says things and we pretend he's smoking a cigarette.
I could be completely wrong on that.
Spend more money, there's better atmosphere.
But don't you want your team to win? Because if your team's winning, then people are going.
Oh, no, they want their team to win.
So if you appeal to the players and give them what they want, it's an easy thing to do.
I do find the atmosphere a little more chaotic, and I also I feel like with basketball, I get a little anxious because I just feel like they're getting crowded on the court for some reason. I don't know.
Right.
The court looks like a little postage stamp to me, and then it seems like people are just on top of them. I
see what you mean. Yeah. It's like a funnel of people, and then people are fighting in the center. I get it. I get what you're saying. Yeah. For some reason, I love sitting at the last seat at the very top of the Amway, and I was sitting up there with the animals, and they were great because everybody up there, no one speaks English. Everybody brings snacks. They're partying up there. People are smoking cigarettes up there.
Okay.
It is a whole different animal up in the asbestos.
I have a theory. Do you think it's at all to drown out the shit talking on the court too? Because sometimes it goes too far, and then people are like,
"Oh, I like that."
You know,
they used to have the chirp. What was that? The chirp cam or something with
I'm saying,
with hockey players. They
like,
mic them up.
Like, did he just say the N word? Like, you know, so it's like, you know, maybe they're just like turn up the music, so it just drowns out. You know,
I think they were trying that at the soccer games for that one. You know, when somebody kicks the ball.
Oh,
and, you know.
Chirp cam.
What?
Oh, when they say
you suck asshole.
You suck asshole, and they didn't want people to say that, so they would play music
because then it's because it's on Apple, so it's become this concern.
There's an autistic kid that sits next to us at the games, and he started yelling, "Your socks have holes!" Every time they do it, so now we yell it too. Your socks have holes, and we get real mad about it.
Pour your drink on that kid.
He was dry heaving because we were eating a sausage the other day. He went.
That's not the point of
Did
this
you guys
kid.
hear? Conservative Brenda threw a beer at the kid.
I didn't see the way he was dressed.
There's a bit of anarchy culture here, kid. We want to say the curse word. So
I do not like the ref belongs on OBT chant.
I don't like that either.
We hate that. Yeah. The ref belongs at OBT. It drives me crazy because I know that there are people, we're right next to OBT, and there's probably people walking with their groceries or their fried chicken or something on OBT, and they hear
That's
everybody,
about me.
The ref belongs on OBT, and they're all like, oh, we're on OBT.
It should be more Kissimmee. Just based on the sport.
The ref belongs at Kissimmee.
That actually is legs. I like it. You are.
I lived on OBT. I can say it.
It's like the M word for me.
Sydney St. Cloud. That's where the ref belongs.
Yeah, all right. You want another one?
Yeah.
Let's try this one right here.
Tom and Dan, what's up? It's your boy Cadillac Pat. I'm in the market for a new washing machine at the house. I want your opinion. Do you think there's any benefit to getting one of those new, like, smart washers?
Yeah.
Or do you think there's a standard old school white, like top-loaded, just a basic washing machine does the exact same thing?
Hand.
Do you think the new fancy ones do clean your clothes any better? Or do you think it's all just kind of gimmicky, it's just bells and the whistles, it looks cool? I want to know your opinion for real. Like, I don't know what to do. All right, love you guys, bye.
This is one of our listeners that he calls us before every life decision.
I like it. He's well spoken. He'll
be on the cruise with us.
Oh, he will?
Yeah, he'll be on the cruise.
He sounds handsome.
He is very handsome.
Can we verify that he's the one doing the laundry in the house?
Oh, sounds like it.
He is. He lives alone.
Okay.
Here's what I'll say.
He had a partner, but he's too crazy to keep her.
There might be an update on that. That's not my story to tell.
I'm joking, Pat.
My wife bought a Samsung set, and it's the one that when it goes off, he goes, like, I think it plays a Confederate General's theme song. It does. It's like...
When your clothes are done?
Yeah, when our clothes are done, it does like this. It's like...
So what...
Oh, goddamn.
That's what happens. Like when my clothes are done, it does like that. And it goes.
Well, that was like Beethoven, wasn't it?
And it plays a long thing. It also has the little tub. There's a tub in it where you can fill the tub with water and you can like soak a blouse in it, and then you can like pull like a little thing, and then the blouse will fall in, and then you can start washing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sort of, kind of. But I don't think it washes any better. I think there's the regular one knob start button.
Well, you could put it on, it'll conserve the energy or the water or something, like.
There's other people that have the Confederate General washer. The General Lee.
So this is my theory on it. I've had a vast array of different washing machines, from the worst of the worst.
I knew you had something good to say.
To maybe, I've never had the best of the best. But
he hits his stride third segment.
But I've been to, I stayed at my father-in-law's house, and he usually buys the best of the best.
Oh, I've seen him.
And I've used as like a
he
stackable.
Had the first ones I've ever seen that you could look through it, and it was like tinted.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those where it's like tinted?
So I've worn clothes washed by the cheapest $50 when I lived in Heroin Alley.
Oh, you're doing the Dusty Rhodes. You're doing the Dusty Rhodes. I've dined with kings, and I fought with peasants, baby.
and I've never noticed it. I've never taken a piece of clothes that have been washed by either one and noticed a difference and said like, wow, this is cleaner than usual. Like I've never been surprised by how clean my clothes are, or by it's never been a thing. I've never been like, oh, this must be a nice wash.
They're harder to fix too, right? Aren't they the fancy ones are harder to fix?
Well, they're more expensive.
I don't know. Scotty does all the laundry.
No, we have a fancy refrigerator. Like we didn't buy super fancy. We bought like the one that has the drawer freezer on the bottom, which is bullshit.
Fancy.
Fuck it, I hate it.
Oh yeah, the drawer freezer is the worst.
It's the worst. I like the old freezer on the top, refrigerator on the bottom. That's the way. That's the way it should work. It works better, ice cold. This thing's a hunk of shit. And when it broke, we had some dumb old man come in there, and they'll always complain. They'll always be working on it and be like, yeah, well, if I replace it. I replace 7.
They always think we're roommates, so that's what we do.
And then I'm like,
I met your roommate. Your roommate's got a pink wig on.
So it makes sense to just buy a used washing machine on Facebook Marketplace for $100.
I don't know, because in that times we had that really shitty one that had
we have janky ones, and the one we have now. One thing I like about it is that it has a sensor for the water level. And so there's a little more energy efficiency to it, but it's not like crazy smart.
Here's water. There's water everywhere.
I've never concerned myself with any efficiency. The yellow, you're talking about the yellow sticker, right?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, well that no. I mean,
where it tells you like this saves a lot of money.
It probably does. It's probably
it just knows like if you overload it or whatever. Like it can just tell how much water it needs.
Hold on. Right. If I just turn my hose on in my front yard and just leave it on forever, like it's just pouring out, and I'll put it in the gutter. It just pours into the gutter, right? Yeah. People will get mad that I'm doing that.
Well, you'd have to cover it with leaves. No one will see it. If you cover your hose with leaves.
But I'm paying for it, and there's not a water shortage. It's not Mad Max.
Look at Scotty's face. Look at Scotty. He got mad just thinking about it.
You're like my wife, Scotty.
Scotty hates you.
I know you.
Scotty, punch him in the face.
There's not a water shortage.
In the state of Florida, we're not too far off from having to ship in our water like some other states.
Tell him, Scotty. Punch him in the face, Scotty.
But also, why would you spend all that money doing that?
No,
he's doing it as a personal challenge.
I feel like you just outed yourself. This is an activity you do at your house.
Now he's mad. He's like,
Scotty, it's kind of like me when every time we take the trash out or the trash people come, I place a Tupperware container filled with old motor oil in my trash. They always find it. But I put it in there every single time. And one of these times they're going to take it to the landfill.
No, but is there a problem? Like, should we conserve water at all? I don't know if that's a thing anywhere. Really?
Yeah.
We don't live in Arizona where the goddamn...
He just said
the aquifer gets low enough, all that salt water's coming in, and then we're fucked.
But is that true?
It is true.
What do you mean?
We can't afford the process for desalinizing the water.
Is that true? It wasn't even a big deal. And even Congress and the Supreme Court even said it wasn't even. They were letting people in.
That's why people are mad at they're mad at like Coca-Cola.
It's not even a big deal. He didn't steal that laptop. She lived.
But like, I don't see anybody telling me like, "Hey, gotta conserve water. There's a drought." Or
it's the only people that say that are nerds, and nobody listens.
The one I get though is the Buddy Dyer. Don't bag them up. You gotta bag them up.
Your leaves.
Your leaves.
Yeah.
You can bag them up. You can't be blowing them down the sewer like you do. This guy blows them all into a pile, then he pushes them into the sewer.
Do you really?
Yes. Yes. You're talking to water-wasting Jones over here.
I'm not getting the 2 or 3 feet around my sewer.
Scotty and I literally in the car when we go by people blowing their leaves in the street, we're always like,
he blew so much leaves into the sewer that it flooded. Do we have the video?
The Seminole County workers, they like it.
Scotty.
It gives them something to do.
Scotty, he blew so many leaves into the sewer.
I'm creating jobs.
It flooded the street, and so much water was on the street, it lifted my wife's car up, and my wife's car started floating away. I'm not kidding.
That was my recycling bin.
Well, it was in the sewer, though, with the leaves.
Yeah, but that leaves the garbage out. No.
That's a true story.
So not only does it clog it also over enriches the water in the lake that's going to. So
what does that make?
Like it pollutes the water.
Oh, yeah, we don't want to do
You know, like it's too much stuff for it to decompose in that water. It all just gets washed in there with the trash and stuff. And then that's when you get algae and then everything dies.
The first thing Dana's lying, Scotty. Don't believe him.
Wait, my wife is not lying. And her car, she had to crawl in. You can see her ass, and like her car was floating to the river.
Okay, ask our AI assistant: is there a water shortage in Florida at all, or should we be conserving water?
No. Should we? Yeah.
Like, should we conserve water for any reason?
We should always be taking less than we need.
Because you know what bothers me is that every once in a while I'll see they're like, oh, it rained too much, and the water plants are just blasting the excess water into the ocean or whatever because we have too much. And then I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like you're blasting, then you're like, oh, we can't even hold this much, so we gotta blast a lot of it into the ocean because our
what are you talking about?
Sometimes they get too much water, they can't even hold it. The water people. I'm telling you.
Let me debunk a few things.
Well, I've been.
Let me debunk a few things for Scotty. Let me debunk a few things for Scotty.
Okay.
Breaking news.
By the way, I don't know nothing about
Juvenile orca whales have been busting up ships on the coast. Yeah, and they figured out why. It's not global warming. We have so much tuna because we brought the tuna population all the way back that they're not having to hunt anymore, so they're bored and they're just fucking around. So put that in your wool pipe, motherfucker. No, I'm kidding. I'm just
were
fucking
people
around.
saying it was global warming? That was
No, they weren't. I made all that up to just be.
Do you know
fool.
the reason? I know the reason.
No, it was that the tuna levels have gone up and that they're not having to hunt as much. And they're juvenile orcas and they've been playing with the boats like toys.
I think they're smart enough to know that's the 1% that can afford that boat.
It's one pod of orcas.
Okay, we have our answer from
sailboats are for the poor.
We have our answer here. Here's our answer.
What are they saying?
They're saying
yes. Florida is currently facing water shortages, and it is important to conserve water.
Oh, God.
Various regions in Florida are experiencing drought conditions, leading to enforced water restrictions across many counties. For instance, areas like Hillsborough, Pasco, and Pinellas counties are under Phase 1 water shortage restrictions, which limit lawn watering to once per week, 7 source. The severity of the drought varies across regions, but it has been particularly severe in southwest Florida, where rainfall is significantly below normal levels, 10 for source. This has led to declines in groundwater levels, putting additional stress on the water supply systems.
There's a lot more. I'll stop it there. And yes, whenever you hear him say source, just so you know, if you disagree with this, you can't because he's sourcing all this information. So there you go.
Tom, I was wrong.
Yeah. That voice sounds so normal.
Did you hear any of that?
No, I didn't. Well,
he doesn't listen to this show. You know that, Brenda.
I believe the AI. It reads the entire internet in 1 second.
It does. It's like data from Star Trek.
Yeah, but so they just need to do a better job promoting the fact that we should conserve water because I never see that shit.
Well, I would imagine that it probably has something to do with the money that was used to get the word out about that. It's probably already been cut.
And there's a percentage of people that will do. Remember after the hurricane, they were like, we need everyone to curb after Hurricane Ian. Everything was flooded.
Yeah.
All the systems were overwhelmed. The city was like, we need everybody to conserve their water use because just flushing, all our systems are just overwhelmed right now with excess water. Please curb your consumption. And it barely happened. I think it was like a percentage. Of people conserve their waters. Everyone else was hosing their shit off.
They're flushing
their toilets.
I remember when this makes me sad, but I remember when I lived in Deltona, there was something happening. We were underwater conservation, and I just put sprinklers in that little house. And so I did it here too. It was my first home, and I'm doing everything letter of the law. But I would look around me, and everybody's house, their yards were fucking green and lush, and mine was some brown crunchy shit. And I was like, they're not doing it. Am I supposed to stand my ground and let this die? So I do. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I understand when you look around and you see everyone else cheating, and you're like, well, I want to cheat too because I don't sod costs money. I just put in the irrigation.
And that's why we will never curb global warming because we can't do it.
We can't call it
as individuals. We can't do it.
As soon as we hear what there's less toilet paper than normal, well, I'm going to go buy 10 cases of it.
Oh my gosh!
For me.
Remember in the pandemic, at the beginning of the shutdown, Good luck getting toilet paper.
He
Good
panicked.
luck getting toilet paper.
And we already get our toilet paper sustainable, made of bamboo from this place called Who Gives a Crap. And
you're joking, right?
No,
and Brendan was panicking, and he was like, "Oh my God, we can't get it anywhere. Who do we order this from?" And I'm, who gives a crap? And he's looking at it. Oh, they're sold out too. Honey, go and look in the bathroom. There's a big giant box.
He messed up that story. I was like, how are we going to get it? I was like, how are we going to get toilet paper? We can't find it. And he goes, who gives a crap? And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, what are you talking about? We all crap. We need toilet paper. And he was like, no, seriously, who gives a crap?
Oh, I like it. It's who's on first.
He said, I thought you were just
And then he was like, go look in the friggin' bathroom, Brendan. Go look and see what it is.
I didn't say friggin'. I did not. No.
You'll turn to old vaudeville.
The whole thing.
It happens. Routines.
All right, you want to do one more? Or are we done?
One more.
All right, one more. See if I can find
Caller,
a good
you're
one
on.
here. We've got. I wanted people to call. This one's funny. I'll be interested to see what. I think I know which way Scotty will go, and I think I know which way Brenda will go.
All right, let's see.
Hey, what's up, guys? I got a hot take that might ostracize me from straight male demographic.
Can't wait.
But I think twerking is gross. It's usually a thick or a fat girl, and there's nothing real sexy about her flapping her big fat butt cheeks open and shut. Looks like if you were to get close enough, it would just smell like open booty hole. Yeah.
Scotty, you okay?
I got a hot take
I feel
for
like
it. I think twerking's gross. I can smell your
I feel like
butt cheek.
I feel like Dan was barely masking his voice right there.
It wasn't me. And I
you typed that into AI.
I like a big fat stinky ass, man. I'll get up in there and ride that shit like a fucking genuine pony.
So he doesn't eat butt. That's what we know.
I think if you're heavier, you can twerk better, but I've seen all manner of butts twerking.
I think twerking's for everybody. I'm with Scotty. I don't think twerking. I don't think twerking has a size.
Yeah, no, but if you're too skinny, you can't do it.
Should white people
twerk? Pissing people off.
You look like an insect.
I think most white people shouldn't twerk.
You're going to get some emails.
Most white people should.
You're going to get some emails from our skinnier listeners.
No, I'm just saying, but they know they can't twerk. It's just like,
well, it almost ruined Miley Cyrus's career. You know, all that twerking she did with the teddy bears.
Did it, though? Did it?
Almost did.
Do you think?
What? Explain.
People were mad. She got canceled.
Yeah, she had the flesh-colored two-piece on, and then Robin Thicke was out there dressed like Beetlejuice.
She got more popular than ever.
Yeah, you love that.
Just the Disney conservative crowd got
was
pissed.
mad.
But what do you guys think? Just to pivot quickly, have you guys been following JoJo Siwa?
Yeah.
And the crazy dance and the...
What is that?
I feel bad for her.
What is it?
JoJo Siwa used to be on a show that my daughter is obsessed with. I hate it. It's the one bad thing that my daughter does that I really wish that my wife would put the hammer down on, but I'm getting outvoted. My daughter's obsessed with Dance Moms and has been going through season 1 all the way through. She even watches the supplemental. It's like Abby Lee Miller documentary, and I'm like, this is a horrible person you're watching, but it doesn't matter. So she's watching it.
I do like her commitment. She dances how many hours a week? 30 hours a week?
Here's the screenshot. I'll show you guys this because it ties
She's probably heard the other moms talking about
this. This is my daughter's little, they do the little thing where they fill out what things to know about me. And this is a few of my favorite things. Something you may not know about me. Maisie Dennis. It says, I dance from 4 to 8 Monday through Friday.
That's it.
I have a job. Like I work at Pollo Tropical.
20 hours. I mean, that's a part-time job.
But JoJo Siwa was part of the Dance Moms thing. She did all of that, child star, and then became like the biggest Nickelodeon pop star you could ever think of, with toys and games and everything, and loaded.
She looked like a unicorn. She had like a little ponytail.
She always looked like a cute little unicorn.
You talk like this.
Yeah,
I'm JoJo Siwa.
Yeah, she had a rough little voice. Let's go have fun. Come on, let's party. And then she
don't like cookies,
and she's gay, and she wants to go into her bad girl phase. And so now she's doing her, like she did her full pivot, and so instead of like easing her way out of unicorn ponytail, she went to straight, like looking like Gene Simmons.
Yeah, she is Gene Simmons. It's Kiss. She's she's wearing Kiss stuff.
Yeah, and then she releases a song that's basically all about
no nod to Chris. She never talks about Kiss. It's not acknowledged at all. But like
she's dressed like
Kiss.
Yeah, they use it in the videos. it's just a look she went for. But then, like, the song's, like, very racy and all about, like, kissing and making out with girls and fucking them and leaving them and, like, karma's a bitch and it's coming to get you and I'm a bad girl and I'm a bad bitch.
And that's what she does all the time. When she's on, like, they just did an SNL skit about her, but she's always like, I'm a bad girl now. I'm bad. I'm wearing black.
So, but what I hate about it is
saw that sketch.
It makes me sad because nobody's like,
how did we get to talk to her from Booty Hole?
We jump around.
Yeah, we jump around a lot. We got ADD. I'm an animal. A lot of, like, if you can't get JoJo Siwa at a booty hole, I don't know how to help you. No, I just feel sad for her because I feel like somebody should have pulled her aside and said, like, hey, you can do this, but there are ways to do this.
Yeah.
If you do this, you're going to get dragged. And now my whole feed is just people making fun of her.
Yeah.
And that makes me uncomfortable.
Do you think
She doesn't seem to care, though. She's got, like, Amy Schumer, like, level confidence. She just does not give a shit.
Yeah, do you believe that or not?
Yeah, to a point.
Well, I think that's...
It does run out, I feel like.
We were talking about Miley, and I think that's part of it. She's just like, you can't cancel Miley.
I love Miley Cyrus.
Well, there's a certain...
Is that your girl?
Oh, yeah. She's fantastic.
She seems authentic.
So let's just say I started doing some weird shit.
Like what?
Like, I don't know. Some
Snuff
weird
films?
What are you,
Are there
shitting on people?
pictures?
Are you Vince McMahon? Oh my God, he's shitting on women's heads.
No,
Scooting
not
on strangers'
horrible
carpets again.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, and then he goes and takes a shower and comes out and watches them finish fucking.
Let's just say I started dressing all goth or something.
I would love it. You have the body now. You have the body now. You could be like,
I don't know.
You'd be a sexy
Can't
vampire.
smile, though.
I support it.
Just something odd to the point where
Sexy Southern vampire.
Scotty's like, yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm like
go sit on
saying,
Scotty's lap.
He's been writing that fan fiction novel for a long time.
Hey, go bite Scotty's neck.
And
I'll give you $1,000 if you bite Scotty's neck right now. Real talk.
1,000. I'll do it for 1,000.
Go make him live forever.
I'll bite anybody's
Does
neck.
that make me a cuck?
Yeah, go bite Scotty's neck in front of Brendan and make Scotty live forever.
So I start doing some weird, and then and then everybody in Central Florida is like talking shit, clowning me, and then like everybody.
The chat room is loving Goth Tom. You should have never picked that because everybody wants it.
It's Thomas.
Yeah,
Thomas
and-
is God. Thomas. Hi, Thomas.
And then let's just say I do.
That's great, Brendan.
And then
Brenda.
I say something where people are like, "Oh, cancel Tom" or whatever. He's fake. Or
You're fake goth. You're not a real
Yeah,
goth.
whatever. Or even if I say some goth point of view that the society doesn't look, I don't even know. Anyway,
the chat room just gave me the idea to make that the picture on the thumbnail.
Oh, yeah.
And if our sponsors didn't care, and like it could only help business because the popularity, like, is the old like no publicity is bad publicity, like, so it would help me. So all this talking shit about JoJo Siwa, like, it could be helping her career be more popular.
Oh, well, okay. I think it is. I think it's
we're saying
keeping,
it's bad. Like, this could be calculated.
Well, I
and
think
be
it's
like,
keeping an average song that was already done by another girl, and the other girl's version went. Okay, so a little bit more of the story. Short of the long is JoJo released her song, and then this other girl that had already done the demo, of the song, released her version, and then the demo version started charting higher than JoJo's version. Another thing that made me uncomfortable. I'm like, right? So I'm following along the story, but to go back to what you're saying, yes, I think it's keeping an average song afloat because the amount of like whatever's happening, the song's not that great.
The hullabaloo around it.
Yes, but her appearances, her doing the weirdo dance, that's so unhinged and crazy. Yeah,
Do you think she knows it's crazy?
I do think she does, and I think she's leaning into it. But I guess what the sensitive Daniel, what fascinates me is like when she takes all her kiss makeup off, and when she gets home, and seriously, this is how weird I am. I think that she walk in there and be like, man, fuck, I wanted that song to be a real fucking song, and I didn't want to be dragged, and I wanted people to take my kiss shit seriously, and I want to be taken seriously, and then she said this whole thing about how I'm creating gay pop, and then everybody gay was like, that's been around for fucking 100 years.
Tegan and Sarah
they were like, kill her! So I'm like, she's making all the wrong moves, right? Every move she makes seems horrible. And so I sit back and I wonder, because I'm a weird, sensitive person, if she takes all the thing off, sits in front, looks in the mirror, and is like, this is fucking terrible.
Is it authentic? I guess that's the,
is she like,
the
this
question, right? Because there are some artists where you go, that came out of an authentic place, and then they're...
You're going to say Lady Gaga.
And Lady Gaga. I don't think... Well,
Well, you're wrong.
You know, like she's back. She's back being crazy. This is a good tie-in, and then we'll get out of here. You know, she's back. She's back in the news for being crazy again because her hair's black again, and she started wearing her dress was a car part.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Because she needs attention, and that's what it's all like.
I don't know if it's attention. That's just what
it's publicity. But it's
She's a $8 cookie. Tom.
No.
She's a drag queen. She's amazing.
But I'm not saying attention like if some random person needs attention, you're like, calm down. But if you're an entertainer, no, but you're an entertainer. Like, entertainers need attention for their business. Like, that's what entertaining is. So how could it be bad if you're getting more attention?
And she's got
that's all I'm saying. Like, I don't think there is anything that you could do bad if it gets you more attention for your, because that's if it's good for business.
It's an E-class bumper. That's pretty cool.
She works. She has like a whole warehouse full of people who just create. Cool, like
she's
got monsters.
She's
monster
wearing a Mercedes-Benz E-class bumper.
As you do.
Scotty, what do you see when you see that?
I can't agree. Just say it's stupid.
I do think it's stupid. I don't.
You don't see that as like art. You don't think it looks artistic at all.
Well, maybe she wore it somewhere though. I mean, if she was just like doing a photo shoot,
it looks like for a magazine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah,
fine.
It's editorial.
But when does it become?
But she also wore meat at one time, so you can understand why I would think that she wore a bumper to an event.
That was amazing.
Again,
we aren't talking about her music though. We're talking about what she.
But
that dress was way a long time ago too, right?
Yeah, it was.
Wasn't it like?
It was.
I want to say it was like 20 years ago or something.
But just eyeballs popularity is value in the entertainment world, even if it's not directly associated with your music or whatever. It's
David Bowie was from Mars for that, right?
Yeah, but that
was all.
I would argue that all came out of like this authentic artistic place, and not him just going, you know what? I'm just going to wear this weird thing.
Right, like Oliver Tree. You guys familiar with that guy? He's like a pop singer, and he has like the bowl haircut and the mullet in the back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When I look at him, I go like, you're doing the bowl haircut, mullet in the back just to elevate your music, which is good. I like some of it. Some of it's like, it's a like shoegaze kind of like poppy shit, but it's good. But would I choose it if he didn't have the haircut to make me think of it?
We saw the lemon twigs. The lemon twigs played it.
So good.
Where was it?
Tuffy's.
We were there. It was so fun. Scotty's a huge fan.
Great night at Tuffy's.
Elton John told him to like them, and he
sent us tickets.
Well, the lemon twigs are amazing.
But they have like a retro. Like
it's authentic,
yeah, very 70s.
But I think it's authentic.
I do too.
Yeah,
but it also complements their music.
It does.
Yeah.
But there's very few.
They look great.
Like legitimate. You got to be a legitimate weirdo, like a Prince. Like but Prince was legitimate weirdo.
Oh yeah,
super art weirdo, and then that's why it's so good because all the stuff he did came from a weirdo place.
I think that's like what Lady Gaga does. I think she does that.
Is she a legitimate weirdo?
Yeah,
though?
And she surrounds herself with weirdos who help her style, with car parts and meat dresses.
Okay.
Does she have a giant weirdo?
Scotty and Tom aren't buying it.
And then she's the canvas.
I love this. And Tom loves it. Tom loves that he has a grumpy buddy. Not authentic. Meat dress. Boo.
I'm also, I'm a huge Elton John fan, and so a lot of what he did was for shock, perhaps. Wearing a Donald Duck outfit in Central Park.
Yeah, it was cool. Though.
But it was rhinestone cool. Dodgers uniform.
He couldn't sit down. A little bit of trivia. He found that out when he walked out. He couldn't sit down on the piano stool, so he did the whole thing standing up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would suck. My back would hurt so bad. Oh, my God.
There's like a 90s radio element to it where you're just doing stuff for attention. It's like, oh, these listeners had sex at a church on the radio show.
Yeah,
and then it's like you just forced some absurd thing to happen and then for attention.
Why don't we do that anymore?
Well,
sex on
no one
church
well, because the internet, everybody's seen everything. Like even my sons have been exposed to most everything now.
Like there are things I think about for this show that I'll be here, like, and I'll go, oh, that's a good, and I'll search it, and it's been done, and I'll be like, well, put that away. That's dumb. That's dumb.
I just realized I haven't crossed my legs this entire time.
No, I like it.
A little Sharon Stone action.
You saw my coin purse.
So Brenda, you're going to be at Persimmon Hollow
tonight.
Yeah, what time?
7:00. We're going to do bingo because they're closing. So this is the last hurrah for them. They close on the 30th. And,
when it's gone, it's gone.
I'll be hosting bingo there, and then I'm also hosting bingo on June 1st at the Monroe. in Creative Village. They have this venue called The Front Porch, and it's so beautiful. We're gonna have an outdoor barbecue.
Cool.
And I'll just be talking about tits.
You have to get tickets for that, though, right?
Yeah, that's a
ticketed.
$10 for bungalow or buddies, or $15 for general admission. You know what? We'll send you guys.
You should call them pedestrians.
You want the buddy code?
You can send put it out there.
Okay, we'll share a code with the BDMs.
Okay,
I'll put it up on the BDM page.
All right,
there you go.
Perfect.
Okay. You should call the people that aren't buddies pedestrians. They love that.
Pedestrians.
So the pedestrians.
Yeah. Scotty, anything you want to plug, or you want to distance yourself from your show?
Well, saying that my opinions expressed today were my own and not my employer. You can go check out thehistorycenter.org. We're doing a bunch of awesome stuff, and you should come.
You want to share your personal Instagram?
At Camp Scotty.
Campground.
Like me, I need validation.
He does.
At Camp Scotty?
Yeah. He shares interesting things.
Do you like camping?
No, I just took.
on my man. I think we have some friends here today.
Like, do you want me to invite your neck camping?
Scotty would love to go camping.
Tom is so into having a buddy here because he hates my ass. Like after all these years, he's done with me, and he likes Scotty. He's like a new little guy that he has. And you want to go camping with me, Scotty? I like your take on Lady Gaga fist bump. He never fist bumps anybody. My God, man! All right. Want to get out of here?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Have a wonderful and memorable Memorial Day, and thank you for those that we have lost. And guys, be safe out there, as Tom would say.
Yeah. Don't drink and drive.
Don't do that. We don't need any of that.
All right,
come to bingo.
Yeah, come to bingo. And
brand new BDM show on Monday. If you're a BDM.
Yeah, we did do shows for you guys. I think you'll like it. We do some good conversations.
Yeah, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Look, wait a minute. I can't publish that. It's mediocre.
I am so fucking tired of doing podcasts. I'm literally done with them. I'm not doing any more podcasts.